following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Well, all right, Bear Their Souls, man. Got Tooch here. Got Eric Derwachter from Windy City Gridiron. And Aldo's still on hiatus. We got Danikin dropping by. Zim is supposed to drop by. And Fitz will also drop by with his food review and talk a little Bears with you. Stick around as long as you like. Eric, we usually go 2.5. I want to thank the Bars Flies for joining us on a Wednesday night. And Eric, couple things. I mean, look, there's never any shortage of Bears news. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's the off season or the season. And I've been asking everybody that comes in, what did you think of that Magic season? It's like the greatest season in such a long time.
Man, so I can't disclose where I was for reasons, but I was in a place far, far away, and I was able to watch parts of the season on this big gray thing somewhere in the water. And yeah, you're going to hear me cryptic for the rest of the way, but to watch that season unfold, I mean, I have never witnessed anything of the sorts. I really wish I had the opportunity to go to Soldier Field at least once this year, especially to see them just embarrass Green Bay on the home front, not once but twice with last-minute wins. And that's my plan this year, is to finally go see another game at Soldier Field. But for what we saw, it was the beginning of something truly special. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it. I hope they don't have to continue being the Cardiac Bears, but this is an outstanding first step in this new era of football for the Chicago Bears.
Absolutely. 11-6. I didn't expect as much. I thought maybe
division champions right here, man. Division champions.
I thought 9-8 would be around there, and then they exceeded expectations of the fan base. Mm-hmm. It was a magic season. I mean, 2018 in Club Dub, it was fun, but I mean, I always thought the wheels would come off sooner or later of that Nagy experiment. And then when they hired Ben Johnson, I thought that they had finally got the coach right, and then it was, apparent that this season they got the quarterback right too.
They finally got both right.
They finally got both right, man. We got iconic quarterback play, man. And then now it looks like we finally have a quarterback that we drafted who will see his second contract with the team. Mm-hmm. Eventually. Now we've got him on a rookie contract, and we're building around that while we have the rookie contract. Bears have been up against the cap. We'll get into some free agency talk, and free agency is man, it's cranking. There's so much to talk about. Real quick before we get into that, the Bears Stadium your thoughts on Bears Stadium. For me, I've said on the show twice now, Danikin, I think that the Bears have been nomads. They haven't really had a home of their own. They played one season in Champaign, for God's sakes, Eric.
Exactly.
Exactly. I want them to have a home of their own. And goodness gracious, it's so hard for them to get this home. Now there's, they're torn between Cook County and Northwest Indiana. Your thoughts on it? If they go to Northwest Indiana, would it affect you? Do you think that that's the likely path, or are they going to set up shop somewhere in the Chicago area, perhaps Arlington Heights?
Man, I look at it and I've been consistent on my thoughts on it. I want them to stay in Chicago, of course. You know what I mean? I don't want to see a team playing in Indiana. It's a different state. I know it's right across the border. It's 30 minutes from downtown, 45 minutes, whatever you might be. But you know, at the end of the day, you still just want them to be in Chicago. It's history. It's everything that's there. You know what I mean? And I want the city of Chicago to benefit from having the Bears and having the Super Bowl and having the Final Four and all these different things that'll go into it. But the city of Chicago, politicians and everybody else that's there, they're more concerned with status quo. You know what I mean? The Bears being a nomad. You know what I mean? Bears renting Soldier Field. And they reap the benefits. The Bears don't reap the benefits. The ownership doesn't reap the benefits of it. So they want to continue down that road. And it's just not feasible, man. You know, you got the smallest city stadium in the NFL, which means ticket prices are higher than most because you have to overcompensate in order to pay the guys the money, you know, to play the game. So there's a lot that goes into it. And if the Bears would, you know, the city, you know, and everything like that would get off of, you know, the greed that's associated with this, then the Bears would have a home in Chicago. But if they don't, then so be it, man. We'll probably be sad for a couple of days, but it'll go on as usual, man. Same way other teams around the NFL don't play in their home city or whatever. They play, you know, we talked about it, San Francisco, Santa Clara, New Jersey with the Giants and the Jets, Dallas with Arlington. So you don't have to be in the city, you know what I mean, ideally. And you know, it is what it is, you know.
Well, thank you for joining us, too. We got Zim back. We missed you.
Hello.
Say hi to Eric.
I'm back,
up,
guys. Welcome in, Eric.
Hey, what's up, man? Long time no see for a lot of people.
Eric, what do you think about this whole stadium thing?
I mean, I'm on the same page as Danikin is. It's just at some point, what's the old saying? Either get off the, you know, either take your shit or get off the pot or something like that.
Exactly.
You know, I can't call myself a Chicago resident, but I've been there quite a bunch of times. I love the city of Chicago. I love, you know, going to the Loop, going to like Greek Town, planning another trip, a couple trips to Chicago. But the bottom line is this: the Bears have to stop operating like a small family operation. It's time. You know, George McCaskey seems to have bold ideas. Kevin Warren seems to have bold ideas, but now we're starting to see that the two aren't seeing eye to eye, and this whole, you know, glorified pissing contest for trying to get stadium funding done is starting to wear a lot of people out, and just the timing of the news is getting pretty weird. And I would love to see the Chicago Bears remain as the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to say a couple more teams that weren't mentioned by Danikin. You have like the Miami Shore Dolphins. So Miami Gardens, Miami Shores is a different city than Miami actual. You got the Paradise Raiders instead of Las Vegas Raiders. Paradise is a suburb of Las Vegas. So it'll be the same thing if they do ever build that stadium in Arlington Heights or Cook County, wherever they're going to build the stadium at, except Indiana, where I have a pretty bad feeling if they do, in fact, take the Indiana offer, there's going to be some bloody lawsuit, and just people are going to go back and forth. It's just going to be a headache more than it's worth it. So just get the stadium figured out, get a brand new stadium built, for the love of God. Stop kicking this can down the road.
Yeah. And Cliff might be right. I mean, you know, they got a sweet deal on the table with Hammond.
Yeah.
Well, and they could have jumped on it already.
They still would rent it, though, Danikin, you know?
Yeah, they still would
rent it for 35 years, and then they can own it for $1 after that.
I want to say they're like the only team left that really rents their stadium. I want to say that's the case. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, could be. It's a great question. Maybe the chat has it. I don't know for sure. I should have researched that because I've been doing a lot of work on this for the show and stuff.
I don't think anybody. I don't know of anybody else that rents their stadium. Everybody has their own stadium, and that's how you build money, man. That's how you.
Yeah. I mean, like Danikin raised a great point earlier when he said they got to pay all these players. They got to pay all their staff, coaches, trainers, scouts, everything. You know, building personnel, the janitor. You know,
the Chicago Park District, they have to pay them too for basic maintenance.
Right.
Yep. And that's subpar maintenance too, right? I mean, the stadium, I mean, the field is always in shambles.
Yep.
We've had some, a couple of good games here recently, but a lot of times it's divots everywhere and the grass is coming up and it's muddy and it's ugly. It's, just not good, man. Not good. Not for a professional football team. I've seen colleges and high schools in Texas that have better stadiums or better field turf than the Bears do. That's pathetic.
Yeah. Zen, before we launch into free agent frenzy, quick thoughts on the stadium, your preferences, your predictions.
I'd prefer that they renovate Soldier Field again. And when I say renovate, I mean tear everything but the columns down to the ground and build it back up. There is no better venue in sports than Soldier Field as far as the atmosphere, as far as the backdrop, as far as the home field, lake effect weather.
Mm-hmm.
You've got different stadiums that
would
have
the Bears
similar
go for
things.
that though? Because I mean,
I don't know if they would.
Yeah, because they don't own the land there. The Park District owns the land. The Park District owns the columns, the stadium, everything. Yep. Again, they're in the rental situation.
They're not going to give it up either.
I'm looking at this right now. Almost every NFL team is considered a tenant in their own stadium. There are very few that actually own their own stadiums outright. And there's one really notable one. Two, technically, if you want to look at it this way. The Cowboys own theirs.
Yep.
So the Rams own their stadium. Anything come to mind when I say that, though?
Because the Chargers rent that.
The Chargers rent it from the Rams, right? Like, isn't that just as bad as like renting from the city that you're in, renting from the team you share a city with? Like, I don't know. To me, that seems a little more.
Yeah,
I think the biggest issue.
Nobody made them leave San Diego.
No. Well, the Jets and the Giants share a stadium, and I believe one team owns it. And the other does not. No, they do co-own it. Okay. Interesting. They co-own it.
You're talking about the Jersey Giants and the Jersey Jets, or the New York
Giants?
Right.
They co-own it. That's a good point, though. That's a good point, Zim, because if you think about it, here's where it gets tricky, you might say, or thick. If they do go down the path of renting a stadium again, now you have outside entities besides the Bears that are going to be dictating a lot of the building, a lot of the planning, a lot of the, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to put into the stadium? Like you look at somebody like Jerry Jones, and there's the $1 billion playpen, he calls it, right? And he's quick to remind people, no, $1.6 billion. You know what I mean? He lets them know that, I spent some money on this or whatever.
Yep.
But with that being the case, he had final say-so in everything, right? So when you're a team that's going to be renting a stadium, you're going to have outside entities and other parties that are going to be trying to dictate or throw in different scenarios or whatever into the planning, into the construction, into the the site, everything. You know what I mean? From how the field is to the jumbotron or whatever the case may be. So if you're an NFL franchise, ideally you want to get out of that type of situation.
Yep. That's why they bought Arlington Park.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it makes perfect sense why they bought Arlington Park and what they want to do with the land. And personally, I don't disagree with the idea, the philosophy behind it at all. I think it's where it's ultimately going to end up. I truly believe that. The Bears did not buy that willy-nilly. They took a look and a survey at their season ticket holder fan base. And I mean, those are your returning customers, right? If we're looking at this from a business standpoint, you want to be centralized to your customer base. Your customer base is in surrounding the Arlington Heights area, so it makes a lot of sense to want to go there because you're then encouraging people to come to your facilities. The people who spend the most money on your product are the people that you're servicing by being there. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what fans like me who live 500 miles away and go to a game once every 3 years. Doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the people buying the tickets season in and season out want to do. Mm-hmm. And if they're happy with Arlington Heights, that's where it's going to end up. And unfortunately, if they're happy with Hammond, that's where they'll end up. This is still a company. It's still a business. It's something I like to talk about a lot on this show. I talk about this constantly when it comes to the numbers behind it all, because what makes it all go is money. So we have to keep that in mind as much as we want to, me, myself personally, want them to stay on the lakefront. I love the look. There is no better aerial shot in any sport. And I was just saying this, but I reiterate the point. You know, those helicopter shots going around, those drone shots going around Soldier Field, you cannot replicate that.
No, you got the water, you got the lake, you got the city
water,
in the background,
skyline, everything.
And no matter where this goes, I'm just going to be grateful that we've got that for the next 3 to 5 years. Because at the end of the day, this is not a tomorrow situation that's being solved. This is not something that's going to happen for the 2026 Bears. This is something we're looking at, potentially when the Soldier Field lease expires at this point, which is only 8 years down the line. It takes a long time to build a world-class stadium, especially if you're trying to build a neighborhood and facilities around it, and especially if you're waiting on the state of Illinois DOT to do anything about it.
Exactly.
So,
that's a big snafu there. The infrastructure surrounding Arlington Park, they haven't been able to get right, and then the property tax assurances.
I do
they
think
can't run a business paying nearly $200 million a year in property taxes.
Right. Well, I mean, you can when that company brings in billions of dollars a year, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
It's. I understand where the Bears are, and I understand where Illinois is, and I think that both of them make solid points, and they just need to finish coming together on the whole thing.
Well, all right, man. There's so much stuff going on. It's been busy, Danikin.
There he is.
He's keeping a sharp eye out now. Before we get into we're coming, Ryan. We're gonna get into everything here. But Danikin, you know what? It wouldn't go away. It wouldn't go away. The trade talks. I gotta get your reaction. Yeah, DJ Moore traded to the Bills. Bills received DJ Moore in a 5th round pick. The Bears received the Bills' 2nd round picks. They move up about 105 spots in the draft there for DJ Moore, which not a bad little return on investment. I got to get your thoughts, Danikin, because you and I we've been talking about this for weeks, and we beat it to death. He's not getting traded. We love DJ, but ultimately a $28.5 million cap hit. Well, it was a little too much to overcome. And Courtney Cronin said, Ryan Poles was saying, we want him here. We think highly of him. This is the time now where we have to look at all the scenarios. Will allow us to put the best team out there. He's the guy we want here, but we have to look at all the scenarios. And they did. Now he's gone. A big
those are the tough decisions that he talked about at the end of the season, right? In the close of the season press conference after the last game, he talked about tough decisions that were going to be made. He talked about getting speed on the defense, and he's addressed all of those things. He's held true to his word, in my opinion. It's not, I'm a person that's like, okay, we put all these talented guys around Caleb Williams. We wanted him to learn and we wanted him to get there. Do we feel like he's there yet? Because I don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't think he's there yet. I think he still has a lot to learn. And I think the more weapons that he has around him, the better. Now, that being said, we are fat at wide receiver, right? We are really like busting at the seams at wide receiver because we have a lot of talented guys. I mean, Jade Walker could barely get on the field because you got guys ahead of him that are
he made
good.
Plays.
But he made plays. Or Luther Burden, when he's on the field, he's making plays all over the place, right? So, you look at that and it's like, okay, well, there we go. That's it. I like that. But yeah, but that's what it boils down to. I mean, I hate to see DJ go because I thought he was a really good player. He beat Green Bay twice.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Beat the
and
Browns.
For that, I will forever hold him. You know what I mean? Dear to me.
Yep.
So, you hate to see him go, but at the end of the day, I could understand the move. I understand it completely. So
we're up against the cap. It had a lot to do with it. Any possibility that his last few routes or whatever the miscommunication against the Rams Nothing to
I don't
do
think
with it.
I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Okay.
That's just me. I really don't. I think you know, a lot of people were, you know, eyeballing that last route, and
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky was doing it a lot. And
Yep.
I like what my man, who is it, Jerry Azuma, did you guys see the tweet that he put out? Or
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he took a shot at Dan Orlovsky, like, you know, you're bashing this guy, and you know what I mean. It was not the route. Technically, if you want to be nitty picky with it, you can say, oh, he didn't come back towards the ball enough and stuff like that. The ball should have never been thrown there. The Bears got greedy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The ball should have never been thrown there. It was not. He should have thrown it to the flat or whatever. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know, you got to live with those types of things. But to dog him the way that they have, and let's not get it twisted. I said it too. After he got traded, you see all these people up and down Twitter and everywhere, all the fans and everything. Oh, we love DJ World. We're gonna miss him. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, y'all were begging for him to be benched earlier in the season. You were saying he was slow. You were saying, you know what I mean? All these different things that people were dogging him about throughout the entire course of the year. And now all of a sudden we're acting like, you know, we're going to miss him. No, you guys are not going to miss him. You know, you'll go to the next person to complain about now.
Eric, how's DJ Moore going to do with Josh Allen in Buffalo?
I think he's going to kill it because he is reunited with a coach he's played for before. I'm a big fan of Joe Brady. I've been a fan of his for many, many years. He's known Caleb Williams. He's, of course, was the offensive coordinator for the best seasons of DJ Moore's career with the Panthers. And I think he's going to fit seamlessly into what Buffalo wants. He's going to be that big play threat, whether it's either on a reception 5 yards or less, which if I want to say, Courtney Cronin mentioned he had like one of the highest percentages of routes 5 yards or fewer, but also had some of the most explosive plays in the league because he can score from any point in the field. So is he the sexiest name compared to guys like A.J. Brown? Probably not. But is he a damn good receiver that could be a number one? Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, and people get it twisted. Think about this. He's played and he's had 1,000-yard receiving seasons with 5 different quarterbacks. 5 different quarterbacks.
Yep.
How many wide receivers can say that? No matter who you throw on the field, pretty much, he's going to produce and he's going to get you 1,000 yards. Imagine, I think he's going to have an outstanding year with Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be outstanding. So,
and I think the whole thing you talked about, his all-effort thing, I thought that whole disrespect towards DJ Moore was unnecessary because he was battling through injuries all throughout the year. I mean, let us not forget when the moments needed him the most. So both times against Green Bay, you know, several other times throughout the year, DJ Moore was one of the greatest Packer slayers to ever play for the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up in big moments. Now his productivity went down. And I think other people pointed it out too. DJ Moore became expendable, not mostly because of Luther Burden III, but Colston Loveland. He's way ahead of schedule in terms of developmental curve. So now all of a sudden you have this big youth movement in Chicago. You have a draft that has a lot of true burners at receiver available. The Bears just recently picked up the kick returner and receiver, Reynolds, from the Detroit Lions. Is going to add that big-time speed element. And it just, for the Bears to get better as a team, they had to sacrifice a great asset at wide receiver so they can spread that money, spread the resources around where they need help, like the defensive line, linebacker core, and safety. To get a second-round pick for DJ Moore is simply outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding work.
Yeah.
Zim?
Yeah, I mean, I was not a fan of trading him. I do think that the Bears are worse without him.
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand, you know, it's better to trade a guy a year too early than a year too late. And that was the number one argument that kept getting thrown back at me when I was saying that they should hold on to him. And the longer that I'm looking at this, the more I'm starting to feel like this might be an Allen Robinson sort of situation where Bears fans didn't want to let the guy go. And he had some career moments in Chicago. And ultimately it turned out to be the right move. And at the same time, I still think that DJ Moore can be productive. I think he's paired up with arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. And in an offense with a coordinator who knows how to get the best out of him. Excuse me, with a head coach now that knows how to get the best out of him. DJ Moore's best seasons came under Joe Brady, who's now the head coach up in Buffalo. I ultimately think that it's a win-win. As much as I hate to say it, the Bears got money to make the moves they needed to make. The Bears' young playmakers now have their golden opportunity ahead of them. Rome Odunze looked like he was going to blow DJ Moore out of the water before he got hurt this year. I mean, the guy led the league in yards and touchdowns through the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he was absolutely killing it.
He had 6 touchdowns the first 5 games. Like, he was on an absolute tear.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there comes a point where you have to make your young guys be the veterans. And there comes a point when your veterans have to become former players. And unfortunately, I think we just reached that point. And I still don't necessarily like it. I still think that maybe they could have waited another year to make the move. But I also think they don't get near the return that they did if they do wait another year. That second-round pick is incredibly valuable. It's a hell of a lot more valuable if you get the comp picks that you were expecting to get. But the NFL said, fuck you on that. And it sounds like the Bears are saying it right back as loudly as they can. So it actually sounds like the whole league's saying it right back, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the Bears have 3 very talented pass catchers. They also have 2 very good pass catchers, and they just added an offensive weapon in addition to their backfield that we haven't even talked about in any of this conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's what made this a move that was able to be made. I'm just reiterating points now that you guys have already made. So I don't think I have too much more to add other than, I can speak for myself. I was a huge advocate of keeping DJ Moore. I still think that this team would be better with him on the roster. I am sorely going to miss him being gone. And since the Bills are in the AFC, I have no problem rooting for him next year.
All right.
I can't wait to see what number he wears. That's honestly, I've been watching for that.
That's a great question.
All right. Well, he was traded the day after we did last week's show. So, unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about it last week. But free agent frenzy has had some, so many big events recently. Let's just start with the one that's sort of started off for the Bears. That was Drew Dalman retiring, which kind of took the Bears by surprise.
I don't think it did.
Well, I mean, it definitely wasn't in their plans for this offseason, and then they got a little heads up from him, so they started, they brought in Tyler Biadasz and then quickly traded for Garrett Bradbury. We did talk about this a little bit. So Drew Dalman retiring. The Bears sign Garrett Bradbury. 1 year, $3.7 million is what's remaining on his contract from the Patriots. 0 penalties, 0 sacks allowed. 105 career starts, 8 playoff starts. He's a 7-year veteran, 30 years old, 6'3", 300 pounds. He'll replace Drew Dalman this season. I want to get your thoughts, Eric, on Garrett Bradbury, North Carolina State alum, was a freshman, I think, with Joe Tooney, was a senior. Also played with a player who is Bears signed as a free agent too for their defensive line. But go ahead on Garrett Bradbury.
So for full transparency, when the news was first announced, I was pissed. I was pissed because that was before the numbers came out for Tyler Linderbaum, and we were talked up pretty good that the Bears were circling around Tyler Linderbaum or maybe a Connor McGovern.
Yep. They all got big money.
We were all shocked. We were blindsided by a young 27-year-old Pro Bowler deciding to hang it up, which nothing but respect. I'd much rather him be honest and transparent now instead of wait till training camp and then say, I quit. And with the whole trade of Garrett Bradbury, I mean, he's an okay player. Again, my exact words were, I thought this is another cheap-ass Band-Aid being slapped on a center again. Just reminded me of way too many moves Ryan Poles made before. But then as time went on, I have to tip my hat to Ryan Poles for actually predicting the market, because the money for the money for Tyler Linderbaum was way out of control. It was above
absurd.
like 27 million per year. That's not just the highest for a center, that's the highest ever for an interior offensive lineman. And I mean, you got him making 27 million a year. You got Connor McGovern getting a big contract of his own, which he spent one season at center, the rest of the time at guard. And then it's just the options at center really dried up at that point. So you got Garrett Bradbury, who is functional. He is going to be a step down from Drew Dahlman, but the optimism is going to be that Gary Bradbury is able to man the position between two excellent guards, and Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson. And then they also draft an heir apparent behind him, kind of what the Patriots just did, where they had Wilson drafted, sat behind, well, really played guard first, but then got moved to center just recently because they traded Bradbury. So initially I hated it. Now I'm okay with it. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. At the very least, the Bears have an experienced center, which will help Caleb Williams. It'll help the offensive line. At the absolute worst, they have a decent insurance policy at center.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. The price is right with Bradbury, and obviously it's not a long-term solution, but you had to get something in there, preferably a veteran, and he does have the veteran experience. You saw how many games he started, 105 games, 8 playoff starts, started in the Super Bowl this past 3 months ago.
He played excellent this year,
that. Yeah,
he played excellent. I mean,
a month ago he was in the Super Bowl, right? 5 weeks.
He was in the Super Bowl. He gave up no sacks. He looked pretty good for the Patriots, and now just can he play better?
It speaks to this too, right? Like, I'm not a huge person that's a PFF guy, but if you look at the PFF numbers, right, overall grade 2025 is 60.1.
Mm-hmm.
That's 30th among centers, active centers. That's you know what I mean? Pass block grade 63, that's 23rd among centers. Run block grade 56, which is 35th. So you're getting a guy who's, he's a journeyman probably. He's not going to be a guy that's a Pro Bowler or a stalwart in there or anything like that. But you hope to pair him up and for him to look better than what he is, again, with guys like Tooney and Jonah Jackson and Darnell Wright even, you know what I mean? To pair a guy with, you know what I mean? You're not going to have Pro Bowlers across the offensive line, right? That's a rare situation. This is not the Cowboys of the 94 season, 93 season, where they just had a massive offensive line that was dominating everybody. So you have this situation where you can pair him with guys, and I guess that's what they're trying to do. You find a low-cost, low-budget guy that you could slide in there. He's a veteran, like you said, 7 years in the league. He's played 105 games. He's got some tread on his tires. He knows what he's doing out there, right? So you pair him with some guys that are really good, and he doesn't look as bad. You know what I mean? But if you throw him on a team with other bad guys, he will look horrible probably. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's probably what the Bears are betting on. It's a stopgap, but it's a good stopgap, right? You have Band-Aids that leak. This is one that might not leak as bad. You know what I mean?
Oh, Price is right, man. And again, it's not free agency. They did trade for him. They traded their 5th round pick, which was number 165 overall.
Actually, it's for a 2027 fifth round
is it?
Pick.
Okay, all right.
2027 5th round pick, so it's even cheaper.
Correct.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so
because that'll be the last pick of the 5th
20
round that year.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
it's a 5th round pick, right, in 2027, I believe, right?
Yeah,
which would be like 7th round value this year.
All right. Right. So now we've got 4 of the 5 offensive line positions sorted. And again, we're looking for a left tackle because Ozzie Trapillo's injury puts the Bears in a bit of a pickle. We'll get to that with the Bears signing 2 left tackles during free agency. We will get to that. But First, we did lose a guy that a lot of us thought we would sign. Kevin Byard today signs with the Patriots. 1 year, $9 million. Bears Pro Bowler reunites with head coach Mike Vrabel. Do you guys think Zim, do you think the price maybe was a little more than the Bears were willing to pay, and they wanted to get younger, and then they went with Kobe Bryant?
I think there's two things that have to do with this. In addition to why they signed Kobe Bryant. First off, they didn't want to spend that much money on a guy who's 32 years old. Period.
Exactly what Danikin said.
There's literally reports out there that say it came down to the Bears and the Patriots. And if you listen and read between the lines, the Patriots gave him more money. That's all there is to it. On top of it, the Bears, again, something Danikin talked about, golly, probably a month ago at this point, if not more. Something that he talked about, I think rings true. I thought about it more and more. The Bears want to be disguised on defense. They don't want to show what they're doing. With Byard and Brisker, you had to show what you were doing because one guy's an over-the-top center fielder and the other guy's an in-the-box cover guy, in-the-box downhill player. Well, Kobe Bryant's both. That guy can do either or, and he can man you up at the same time. Like he can do
where you're going with this.
Anything. They didn't bring back Byard, I think, one, because of his age, and they don't want to pay him that much. And two, I think they want to get more versatile on defense. It's why they bring in some of the other guys that they've brought in, like Devin Bush, right? It's why they don't bring in or bring back certain players like Tremaine Edmonds, because he can do one thing really well. They don't want one tool experts. They want jacks of all trades. And when you see what historically over the last decade or so has succeeded in the NFL, you're seeing these teams that have these players that are not really defined positions. They're kind of just line up here and do your thing. This is your assignment. Make it happen, And Kobe Bryant fits that mold. That guy plays as both a box safety, as a center fielder, as an outside corner, as a nickelback, as a blitzer. And he's basically an outside linebacker in certain run packages. I mean, he's your honey badger. Tyrann Mathieu basically created the position in the NFL for the modern defense. I want to be very clear on that. But for the modern defense, Tyrann Mathieu, honey badger, kind of was that dude. And more teams are realizing how valuable it is to have that guy there. It's something that the Chiefs have taken advantage of, something the Cardinals obviously have taken advantage of, something the Patriots are starting to figure out, something that the Seahawks did last year with their safeties. They ran 3 safeties most of the year last year, and people kind of just ignore that, which is insanity. They basically ran a 3-3-5
defensive line.
Yeah,
a lot of guys on the defensive line rotated. Might as well get into the Kobe Bryant signing. Arguably the gem of their free agent class so far. Kobe Bryant gets 3 years, $40 million, 66 tackles, 4 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. The 4-year veteran. He's only 26, 6'1", 193. Speed and playmaking ability. That's what Dennis Allen's all about. Ryan Poles said he wanted to get faster on defense, especially in the back seven. With the free agent signings they made so far this offseason, they got a lot faster on all around defenses. Eric, tell us a little bit about Kobe Bryant.
I got to tell you, that was a stupendous signing by the Bears. Kobe Bryant, it didn't break the bank either. So 3 years, $40 million tops. And he's getting paid pretty well, but it's not overly expensive. And just like what Zim mentioned, Kobe Bryant, you want to talk about versatility. He started his career as a corner. Then he converted to strong safety. Then last year he played free safety.
Not just a corner, but an elite lockdown in college. The man allowed 0 touchdowns in his college career.
Yes.
Right, he succeeded Sauce Gardner. Did they play together at
They played together at Cincinnati, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Yep. So he converted to safety. And then you look at the safety position as it's transformed. So Tyrann Mathieu, it's kind of this concept I'm familiar with when I was coaching. It's called the Raider concept. They say no longer strong or free. It's called a Raider. someone that can literally, you can put him at different spots. You can blitz, cover, you can go zone, you can go man, you can jump in the box, go in the slot. Having that opportunity to be a Raider type safety instead of a true stronger free is really what defenses are looking for, besides like that so-called tweener linebacker or that safety linebacker hybrid. And then you bring in someone with the overall abilities of a Kobe Bryant, who is 26, no major medical history, who just won a Super Bowl, and he's only getting better. I think he finally hit his stride when he was allowed to be more of a free roaming safety and just make whatever plays his heart content. And of course, it's going to be interesting who the Bears pair him with now, but that's also why I actually like the idea. They're trying to bring both Bryant as well as Kevin Byard III back in the fold, because now you'll have two safeties that you don't really know 100% what you're going to do with both those safeties on the field. But now, of course, I probably suspect the draft would be where they get the next safety at to pair with Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
But there is no signing I hate this year for the Bears. I really love this signing above all else. This was no complaints here whatsoever.
Fantastic.
No.
Danikin, where do you like the Bears side Kobe Bryant?
Kobe, yeah, exactly. I was like, he's back, right? He's playing football. But it's crazy, man. I mean, it's a really good signing. I was happy for it as well. I think he's a good player. You'll be able to utilize him in all aspects of the field. I mean, somebody put Swiss Army safety out there, and that's pretty much what he is. You know, he can do a lot of different things out there, which makes you unpredictable. And when you're unpredictable and teams don't know what this guy, where is he lining up? What's he doing? What, you know what I mean? Is he coming in? Is he blitzing? Is he playing? You know, when you're able to disguise some defenses like that, and you have personnel that can do that, then it makes you much more difficult to plan against, right? And to game plan against, right? So those are the things that the Bears are looking to do, and I think they're doing it. They're accomplishing some of the goals that they had, which was to get more speed, get younger, and they're doing it. I mean, it's an awesome signing in my opinion. That one and the Devin Bush signing are my two favorites. I'm sure we'll talk about that as well. But you know, those are my two favorites as of right this moment. Because there were, you know, when you put those guys in the positions, I don't think we got worse, right? Kevin Byard may leave, right? And I've said it, you know, a couple of weeks now in a row. Like Kevin Byard, he's plateaued. Like you're not going to get the same season from Kevin Byard, I don't think. You know what I mean? Right. And I hate to say that because he has such an outstanding season, but it's pretty much his best season that he's going to have going forward. It's pretty much downhill because that's just the way it is.
We're paying him for what he did, not what he's going to do.
Exactly. And here we have a situation where this guy's 26. We're going to be paying him for what he possibly can do, for the potential that he can have on a football field. So I'm much more happy with that. You know, 3 years, $40 million, like you said, it doesn't break the bank at all. That's a really good deal. Similar to like when they signed TJ Edwards, it was a great deal when they signed him. You know what I mean? And I think this is another nice one as well.
I agree. Fans of this is a player who won the Jim Thorpe Award in college for most outstanding defensive back.
Yep.
And Garrett Bradbury won the Remington Trophy for best center. So the players that we are acquiring in this offseason, they have the accolades, they have the bona fides, and hopefully they have the talent to stand up to what we did last season, match what we did last season. All right. So I want to get into, I guess, because it could be, eventually it could affect the Bears, and now that he's available again. The Ravens renege on a Maxx Crosby trade. Yeah, they claim he failed his physical, but because he just had knee surgery, but then they quickly went to sign Trey Hendrickson, who just had hip surgery, Zim. Yeah. Any chance, you guys, I want to get your thoughts on whether you think the Bears will just do it. And what you think the price will be? It's obviously not going to be 2 picks again. I agree. Eric and I were talking before the show that I would offer like a second round and maybe some kind of, day 3 or late day 2 pick.
I'll give you an RC Cola and a gift certificate to Portillo's.
Hey, RC Cola is a hell of a good soda, man.
It's not a bad offer.
Fitz is going to be here soon. Fitz is going to be here.
It's not a bad offer. It's just it's nowhere close to what they want for it. Like, no, it's so not worth it. What? Oh my God, no.
The thing to me is, this is the Raiders being the Raiders.
Yep.
Right. And the reason I say that is because the Raiders had opportunity to trade him a long time ago. Last year, the year before last.
The trade deadline.
They held on. Right. And then you have a situation in the offseason where it happens, and it's like, okay, if they don't like the way the physical looks and they don't like, what the doctors are saying, this dude's had 8 surgeries, man. We talked about that at extensive, on this show as well. But, when you have a guy that has 8 surgeries, hey, he's an outstanding player. He's cold. He's, he does it all on the football field. He can blow up a squad. But when you're going to invest that and you're going to mortgage your future, which is 2 first-round picks, why would you do that if you're the Baltimore Ravens, if you can go get Trey Hendrickson and say, let's just pay him the money and we don't have to mortgage our future at that point?
Supposedly they were trying to pair them together.
I call bullshit on that.
Maxx Crosby's agent has left some breadcrumbs that suggests it could actually be true.
I don't believe
that. What does his agent have to gain from putting that out there?
Because the only what he has to gain is that other teams are looking at this right now and they're saying, I don't know if we want to go that route either. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get the same type of compensation for Maxx Crosby, right? Because his agent, you got to think about an agent. An agent, they want certain amount in return for Maxx Crosby. If he's not able to get it, if he's not able to garner that, then they're going to be upset about it. Everybody's going to be upset. Nobody's going to want to do the trade, so on and so forth. So the agent's going to put that out there because it's like, hey, that's how you save face and keep his value as high as possible because his value is plummeting right now. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. Is Maxx Crosby? We're not a Maxx Crosby away from the Super Bowl, correct?
No, I don't think so.
Not even a little bit.
Close, but it's also hoping the rest of the defensive line shapes up too.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get into
again.
Well,
I've made this point before, but they have so much invested at that position. Are they really going to invest more money at that position? You're talking putting 1/5 of your salary cap all at one position.
Yeah, that's a big
unless
thing.
It's a quarterback, it doesn't make any sense.
That's a big thing.
Even if it's a quarterback, historically, it still doesn't make any sense.
I don't think they're gonna go that route. I mean, we've seen them. They signed somebody. Wait, no, I'm thinking about something else. But I don't think they're gonna go the route of Maxx Crosby at this point. I mean, nobody's gonna give up 2 first-round picks for him now. I don't think so. And the Raiders are not gonna come up off him if they're not getting 2 first-round picks for him, unless they're in some type of desperation mode and they say, okay, yeah, we'll take it. But imagine what that looks like. This is the Raiders. Like I said, being the Raiders, this is a bad organization. And it's the stuff that I talked about last year when we were talking about, is Ben Johnson, is he going to want to coach the Bears? And I was telling people, the Bears are a nice franchise. They can, you know what I mean? And they're this, they're that. Blah, they fired this guy and it made it look bad. Nobody's going to want to come coach the Bears because of it. And I'm like, you got the Jets, you got teams like the Jets, you got teams like the Oakland Raiders or LA Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, I should say, and these other teams that are terrible franchises that constantly make these types of problems and situations for themselves. If they traded Maxx Crosby, because the Lions have tried to trade for him a year ago, you know what I'm saying? And they said no, they held off at the trade deadline. And then you come to this point in the season, it's like, you shot yourself in the foot. You cut your nose off to spite your own face.
That's so fascinating about the whole Maxx Crosby saga is the Raiders have had so many chances to make the right decision and move on from him. And they're like, no, we want our price. They finally got their price from the Ravens, who never sent first-round picks in a trade. In fact, that was the first time in their 35-plus year history they ever offered a first-round pick in a trade. And I think it's because their general manager is starting to feel the heat for not winning enough games in the last few years. So Eric DeCosta is saying, fuck everybody else, I'm going to do me. But then the whole thing about, what does an agent have to gain for putting stuff out? I think Berlissimo chimed in the comments saying that helping Eric DeCosta save face and save his ass for essentially having cold feet and turning away on a deal that was already agreed to, because we didn't hear anything about Trey Anderson going to the Raiders or to the Ravens until like the whole debacle of, they failed Maxx Crosby physical. And then word got out that, they're talking to Trey Henderson. A little suspicious. But the Raiders fucked up. That's just, end of the day, they fucked up. But
you should have traded him a long time ago.
Here's where I'm at with Maxx Crosby as a Chicago Bear. And I think it's actually very, very feasible at this point because the price is going down. No matter what the Raiders want, no matter how hard they stomp their feet, no matter how blue they turn in the face, whatever temper tantrum they're throwing in the media, he's not getting 2 first-round picks no more. In fact, I don't think he's going to get 1 first-round pick.
Yeah, I agree.
Or he gets a first-round pick, that's it.
The Raiders get a Raider, though. They're going to hold
Raiders are going to Raiders.
At least 1 pick, right, Danikin? At least
they're
1
try to.
rounder. Yeah,
they're going to find out real quickly because I don't care what people think, like, they can technically afford him. No, they can't. They barely have cap space to function. And when you have Maxx Crosby, they already signed a bunch of players. That's why the Raiders are screwed, because they already went out. They made the business decision. They told Maxx Crosby and his agent, we are moving on. We're going a different direction. It is time to say goodbye.
Yep.
You're not going to take that, as a friend of mine, Aaron Lemming, said, you're not taking that and balling back up as if it didn't happen.
Right.
You made the decision to move on. So kind of like what happened between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, you made the decision to move on. Same thing with Brett Favre and the Packers. You made a decision to move on. We're going forward. So.
And they're stupid because they held on to this guy who was probably, top 2 defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, top 3. Him, Crosby, Myles Garrett, and Micah Parsons, right? Even though I hate saying that because he's a Green Bay Packer now. But those 3 guys are, cream of the crop. And then you throw Trey Hendrickson in there as well. He's up there. But they're stupid. They're so stupid because they were a horrible franchise. They were bad. They were a bad team. Why are you holding on to this asset that you could trade away and get top compensation for? And they held off. And now, like I said, they've screwed themselves in a major way.
And the craziest part I was about to mention too is earlier this morning, I think it was Ted Nguyen, who is one of the best 49ers writers in the country, one of the most connected people on the West Coast. He said the new 3 teams that were in on Maxx Crosby were the Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo Bills, and Chicago Bears. Buffalo Bills have just signed Bradley Chubb. They're out. The Philadelphia Eagles are allegedly talking to the Vikings about Jonathan Grenard. And you can almost guarantee, if that's the case, they're out on Maxx Crosby. So what's the one team left in the whole league out of all the original suitors? The Dallas Cowboys are out. The 49ers just traded
Put the picture up, Tooch.
The Bears.
Put the picture up, Ryan Paul.
It's like the Bears are always used. The Bears are always used in these negotiations as a bargaining chip. They're always used as a leverage team. They're never the team that makes the move.
It's to the point, it's the advantage of the Bears now, because now all of a sudden they could be the only bidder for him, and now it's going to be at the Bears price instead of the Raiders price.
If it's at the Bears price, he's not getting moved.
So Poles could say, after all of that, where did it bring you, right? Like Thanos said, he could play the Thanos role, right?
Yep.
It brings you right back to me. So now you hold all the chips, in my opinion. The Bears do.
The Bears hold all the chips.
That's good.
They're the one team that could realistically trade for Maxx Crosby in a meaningful way, because they have.
Think about it. we're sitting here with 2 second-round picks, so we can,
Yeah, and 15% of your salary cap is allocated to your 2 starting edges already. So why not add a third?
Because you can move the money around. It does.
You can move the money around, but
they could give an injury settlement to Deo. But he's motivated. Though.
He's motivated. He's going to be better than Maxx.
Fitz is here. He's going to get to a little food review a little bit later. But Fitz, right after we did the show last week and talked about DJ Moore getting traded, they went ahead and traded him the next day.
Yes, they did. It's because we didn't talk about him at all on the show, I think. After talking about him for months.
Good move, bad move, sad move.
Good and sad. I didn't want him to move. I didn't think he'd get moved because of his contract, but the Bills were the perfect player in this. They got to do something now, and why not? And we got a second-round pick for him, so yeah, I'll take it. I'm sad that he's gone, but I think it was a good move. It's a better move than I thought. All the talk was that he was going to be involved with Crosby and the Raiders, but that didn't make sense because if the Raiders are trying to get rid of cap space and all that and rebuild, why would they take on Moore's contract? So that didn't make sense to me. But the Bills made sense. They're trying to win right now. So
they have had a hard time getting a number one receiver.
Right.
It hurt them in the playoffs. They couldn't get anything going in that part of the, really the best receivers, their tight end.
Yeah.
Maxx Crosby, your thoughts? Ravens back out of the trade. He failed his physical. If you're Ryan Poles, are you offering anything? What are you offering? Are you going after him, or are you just saying, hey, we're going to find our edge in the draft?
My issue is the money. I mean, do we have the Bears have the money to bring him in right now?
They do. There's a clause in his contract that can convert all but $7 million into a signing bonus. So his cap hit for this year would be $7 million. And that's it.
It's spread out the rest over the remaining years.
Now, did the signing of what's his name, Jedrick Willis Jr., did that do anything to the Bears?
Well, terms were undisclosed. I'm going to guess it's probably 1 year for $5 million.
Yeah, I think it's 1 year.
Yeah,
it is a 1 year deal.
It's a 1 year deal. We don't know how much for though.
Yeah, if they can swing the money, and I don't know anymore. I was not in on him because I just did not want to give up 2 first-round picks for him the whole time.
Right.
But
I agree.
I don't know what, yesterday's price is not today's price. Is that what
that's the big one? Caleb Williams liked that comment, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep. That is true. He liked your tweet, Fitz?
What's that?
Did he like was that your tweet, yesterday's price?
No, that was
okay.
It was on ESPN.
It was Instagram.
Yeah, it was not my tweet. So,
okay.
But,
bottom line.
Yeah.
I agree. 2 first-round picks was never. I mean, some people in the chat room were saying that Poles did offer the 2 first-round picks.
There's some conflicting info on that, man. It's
that Raiders game last season, he almost won the game for the Raiders.
He really did,
yeah. So I mean, there's some recency bias with Maxx Crosby as far as the Bears are concerned. They saw firsthand what he could do. He's just a one-man wrecking crew.
Yeah, and I thought that the pass rush needs to be improved, but that doesn't mean you go out and get a big pass rusher. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You guys have been proving this to me all season, because I really, at the beginning of the year, I was like, yeah, we need a pass rusher last year, but you brought me to this point where Seattle only had, they had like 3 guys with 7 sacks apiece as opposed to 1 guy with 23 sacks, So if they can pull it off and it doesn't really put them back any, okay, but I'm still a little cautious on going after such a big name when there's so many holes that need to be filled, especially from a depth angle. It's like we need people, but we also need depth at those positions as well. And I just didn't think this year was going to be the year to go out and get the big name with the big bucks.
Yeah, Greg Gabriel said the Bears are looking into the Crosby after the botched trade.
Yeah. Greg and I go about back and forth on that all week long. Like, just watch, Greg. Just watch. I was still hunt for him, and then Greg actually came out himself, said, got a text from a good friend of his that they are indeed in. So we will see where the price is. I don't want to see a first round pick offered. I don't think.
I agree. We got 2 second-round picks. The Raiders should be happy with one of them.
There is blood in the water. Blood in the water.
Yep.
And as I was mentioning, I think the Bears might be the one serious suitor left after everybody else. I mean, the Ravens screwed everybody else over at this point because the Cowboys, they already got Rashawn Gary. Trey Henderson's a Raven. All these other big-name players have already signed elsewhere. So these teams are like, that coulda, shoulda, woulda done for Maxx Crosby now, they can't. So that's like advantage Bears if they are willing to take the risk.
Yep, and do some restructuring, not just Crosby, but others as well.
Yep.
Boy, I tell you,
after all their signings, they're at about $6 million in cap space right now.
Yeah, there's more. There'd have to be some more stuff to come.
There's $6 million right now, but another $40 million available. Plus, you have the option in Maxx Crosby's contract too. So if they really want him, they can get him.
The Bears kind of hamstrung themselves a little bit by giving out 2 very large contracts along the defensive line to Deo and Grady Jarrett. It didn't quite work out the way Ryan Poles wanted it to. And Deo, of course,
he took a swing and he missed on that one.
He took a swing and he missed.
He took a big swing and missed.
To be honest though, I'm going to say this. I think it was a swing and miss on Grady Jarrett. I
agree.
I'm not going to say it about Dio. So
I was excited for the Deo signing.
And at the beginning of the year, the first couple of games, he was playing really, really good. You know, he was showing up on tape and things like that. So and with often defensive line is different sometimes, right? And I tell people this all the time. It's not only, people just look at sacks. Myles Garrett got 21. Myles Garrett. No, it's pressure. It's batted balls. It's, do you play your assignment? Can you set the edge? It's so many different things that go into it. And for a while, he was playing really good. And then of course, he had the little injury and whatnot. It kind of threw him off a little bit. But
he's listening to you, Danikin.
We'll see what he does this year coming up. Of course,
I agree, man. You took the words right out of my mouth because I was really excited for the Deo signing. I thought, it was a player on the rise, and then he had the Achilles injury. With Grady Jarrett, I was a lot more puzzled because they gave a lot of money to a player who, in my opinion, it's the Kevin Byard situation. You paid Grady Jarrett for what he used to do.
Yep.
He came in, he was coming off of surgery, he was injured, for the start of last year.
Man, at the beginning of the year, we were talking about that Tooch, right? On the show, like Grady doesn't even look. You can see, you can almost see him limping.
Yep, there was a liability in the run game.
In the first several games of the season, I'm like, he's not healthy at all. Not close to
Brady from Sanford and Son,
maybe he misses his buddy, his line mate from while we're rating the Colts defensive line. Zim, the Bears signed Neville Gallimore. And
another one.
I've watched some of this guy, and I kind of like this dude hustles, man. He is a nonstop high motor. I love he's fast too. He's got speed and playmaking ability, which is what they're looking for, man. 2 years, $12 million, man. It's a good bargain. I mean, Poles is getting these ascending players on relatively bargain contracts, man. I like this. He's 29 years old, 6-year veteran, good against the run and could get some pressure. Anybody want to chip in here on Neville Gallimore? Who wants
your research there pointed out to what we just was talking about. You know what I mean? It's more than just sacks. He had 3.5 sacks, but he had 6 quarterback hits. He had 3 pass breakups. He had, 38 tackles.
Yeah, filling the stat sheet.
Yeah, he's filling the stat sheet in different ways, and that's what you need from. Everybody's not going to be Aaron Donald. I think the league has been spoiled with having a guy like Aaron Donald be the defensive player of the year. You don't see defensive tackles become the defensive player of the year that often in the NFL. It's just go back through history. You don't see it. You see edges get it, you see cornerbacks get it, but you don't see defensive tackles getting it like Aaron Donald was, right? Yeah. So the league has been spoiled with that. Those guys don't exist like that. He is an anomaly, people. Okay. You know what I mean? You're not going to find an Aaron Donald, every single draft. It's just not going to happen. So Neville Gallimore is a really good player. He's a decent player. And I think he'll fit in well with this defense. I think he'll bring something that Grady Jarrett was not able to bring, to be honest with you.
Eric, thoughts on Neville Gallimore, the Canadian player who found his way to the NFL and on the Colts? He played drafted by the Cowboys, played for the Rams, and ended up on the Colts recently.
So, a little brief background about myself. Defensive line, linebackers are my bread and butter. I coach defensive line and linebackers. And I got to tell you, man, I like what I saw with Neville. He's kind of reminiscent to like Big Bill, where kind of like did all the dirty work, but he played his role well. Now he's going to be more of a high rotation kind of guy. He's not going to see too many snaps. I still see him more as a 2-down specialist at the nose. He does have the athleticism to flex over to the 3 technique. I do think right now, really the Bears have to have depth at defensive tackle, because last year they had 0 depth. I mean, you had Gervon Dexter, you had Grady Jarrett, they had the Shamar Turner experiment briefly, and that was it. And then Andrew Billings, but it was evident that Andrew Billings was not really a fit. They needed more explosiveness, the defensive tackle position. I still think Gervon Dexter Sr., I mean, he shows up when he shows up, and he's a monster, but he needs to be there consistently.
Very quiet 6 sacks for
Very
Gervon.
Quiet 6 sacks. He was number 2 on the team, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the other thing we all been haven't really talked about. Is just I thought at the beginning of offseason the Bears would go be more active in defensive tackle, because honestly, defensive tackle is probably worse than defensive end. When you look at
that was I had that as their biggest need going into the draft this year was defensive tackle. It might not be anymore now that they've signed some guys, but who knows?
I mean, to be honest with you, if you look at that, like say you got Neville Gallimore and you got Gervon Dexter there. If you get one guy that gets 6 and one guy that gets 4, and you got 4 tackles, 4 sacks from the interior line, that's good on any team, man. Yeah. Go look at the stats. Go look at the stats, people. You just don't get defensive tackles are not producing that many sacks. You want them to get a push. You want them to stop the run. You don't want them to be able to just run up the gut on you, right?
It's a very dirty job.
Tackles are, exactly. There's a dirty job. You gotta occupy the guard. You gotta occupy the center so that your linebackers can shoot the gaps. People don't understand football, man. You just gotta learn. You gotta see what you gotta know what it is. What guys' jobs are. Everybody's not going to be Aaron Donald, man. I'm tired of saying that. It gets frustrating to a point.
You don't need an Aaron Donald to make this defense work. Although one of the defensive coaches coached Aaron Donald personally, that is Bill Johnson. As a little fact nugget for everybody here. And if I trust anybody to build a defensive line, it's Bill Johnson, who is the senior defensive assistant for the Chicago Bears. He's developed 3-4 different Hall of Fame defensive linemen in his career. So if he signed off on Neville, as a good option to rotate in a defensive tackle. They also signed another defensive tackle recently, Kentavious Street from the Falcons, who has had some decent play here and there.
Rotational
and then they get a big guy, get a big boy with a first-round pick in the upcoming draft. Then the Bears would be pretty set at defensive tackle, which will open up opportunities for Montez Sweat, possibly Maxx Crosby if he comes to Chicago, Austin Booker come up behind both those players. The second you get that defensive tackle position figured out, it's going to open up opportunities along the defensive line for plays to have, because if you ain't going to do the dirty work inside, you can forget about getting to the quarterback, because you got to stop the run to earn the privilege of rushing the passer.
Have we forgotten about Austin Booker? I mean, I might be putting too much into him, but I really think he could be the guy.
He had came on strong last year, didn't he?
He had some juice when he came in the lineup and took over as defensive end adjacent for Montez Sweat. He put up enough film to say, you know what? He could warrant competition at defensive end. Now, I'd prefer for him to be more of that Mark Anderson type player where he's coming off the bench fresh, to go after the quarterback. I think that's where he excels at the best.
It's where he's always been best. Yeah.
It's always where he's always been best. So he's a player that you put him behind a Montez Sweat and then a good starter adjacent from him. Let him be fresh, get after the quarterback on those NASCAR packages on third down. But to your point, Fitz, it's just Austin Booker, when he came into the lineup, he added some real juice to that pass rush. I think their pass rush productivity almost doubled when Austin Booker took over as defensive end.
Yeah. Danikin, this Kentavious Radkevian Street. Have you ever been down that street?
I have not.
Somebody was really creative with that name, making up that name, man.
That's a hell of a name.
What is Radkevian? Kentavious, I could accept.
Kentavious Radkevian Street. Wow.
It's like Kanye West naming one of their daughters North. Yeah, Northwest. I'm like, come on, man.
Kentavious rotational piece. Obviously, Dennis Allen wants to rotate guys around and stuff, man. So Gervon Dexter, big part of the plan. Grady Jarrett, Kentavious Street, and Neville Gallimore. Are they still going to draft a defensive tackle? I mean, this is a great draft for defensive
absolutely.
tackle. Yeah.
Yep. Because you got to draft it. You got to draft another defensive tackle because Javon Dexter's coming up for a contract. Are you going to keep him or are you going to let him go? That's one reason. The other reason, Neville Gallimore is 29, right? So it's not like he's gonna be around for 5 or 6 years. He's signed a 2-year deal, right? And then you got Grady, who's probably, he's gonna be gone pretty soon, right?
Kentavious also 29.
Exactly. So you got older players, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna get guys that are gonna come in behind them and possibly be the guys that take the torch at that point.
I'll tell you, for Aldo, Kentavious, a little easier to pronounce than Ogbongbobinga. Yeah, the barkeeper had trouble with that one. I'll tell you. Good. Some good polls. Like he likes to go into free agency and sign these depth pieces, and then he has a lot more flexibility in the draft. And I kind of like that strategy quite a bit.
And you can find some hungry guys too. Like Neville Gallimore, I think he might be a little hungry, right?
Oh yeah.
He might, same thing with some of these other guys, Let's get to the left tackle though, man.
Zim may be cautionary about rating the Colts defensive line.
Yeah,
too much, but
that's not on his
Quiddy Pay.
On his joint.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of Quiddy Pay actually.
Well, Fitz, we were talking about Kobe Bryant, how that's been the gem of this off-season free agency signing. We love that, getting faster on the back seven. But this arguably almost as good of a signing. Yeah, Devin Bush, 3 years, $30 million, man. And talk about a guy that filled up the stat sheet, Danikin, 125 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, 2 forced fumbles, 7 tackles for loss, 8 pass breakups, a 7-year veteran. Ran a 4.47 40 at the combine when he was coming out. Was a first-round pick of the Steelers. Found himself in the Browns in that upfield attacking defense. It's really fit his style a lot more. A little more read and react rather than hanging back. Eric, how do you feel about the Devin Bush signing?
I'm going to quote my good friend Greg Gabriel in a text that we had earlier today about Devin Bush, and he is, in quote, a fucking beast, as Greg put it. What I really like about Devin Bush from a linebacker perspective, the scheme that he played for in Cleveland is very similar to what he's going to be playing in Chicago. Instead of having to be in a 3-4 odd man front where you got the big boys up front trying to eat up the gaps, and then the linebackers have to shoot the gaps, and they're responsible for gap integrity. Now it's more or less the linebackers there to clean up, kind of like base the defensive line to go through the one gap opportunities, except the nose always takes 2. But you have the one gap strategy between the 3 technique, the 7 technique defensive ends. So you get the middle linebacker, or I presume will, for Devin Bush, and you're going to let his athleticism speak for itself. He's going to make plays all up and down the field. And he was able to have the opportunity with Cleveland. Like, he shined. He finally looked at that first-round pick that Pittsburgh spent years ago. So sometimes it takes players 5 or 6 years to really hit their hit their mark in the NFL, but you're getting Devin Bush, who's still 27. He's got Pro Bowl potential. And you put him in that will spot that Tremaine Edmonds played rather well last year, but you have an even faster player who's better in pass coverage, who's also a thumper and run support. So that is a home run signing for the Bears.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think he fell off a little bit.
I had him a few weeks back, Danikin, as one of the guys I'd like to see him sign, what it would take.
You did.
To get him.
You did, absolutely. It's a good signing, man. It's a good signing. And I think he had a couple of injuries too that kind of slowed down his development, or you might say. And he's looking, like you said, Eric, he's looking like the guy that was drafted in that first round by Pittsburgh. I mean, that year, last year, like you said, just stuffing the stat sheet. I mean, he's and it's not just tackles, right? Because you get a lot of linebackers that just, they're space tacklers. What's his name? What's the guy that played for Atlanta? Olakin or something like that. Oh, no. Yeah, even Deion Jones. Deion Jones was a space tackler, right?
Yep.
Those guys, they just tackle, but they weren't making other plays. Like Devin Bush is making interceptions. He's forcing fumbles. He's getting sacks. He's doing all these other things on the football field. And once again, that speaks to versatility. What we were talking about with Kobe Bryant, right? It's versatility on the defensive side of the ball. When you're able to be versatile, hey, we got a guy that we're playing against that can do all these things, right? We're not just going against a guy and just, okay, let's run away from him because he's a good tackler. You know what I mean? But no, you gotta pay attention to what he's doing in the passing game, in the coverage game. Is he blitzing? Is he stopping the run? What's he doing? So it's just versatility, man. It's a really good signing. Him and Kobe Bryant, excellent
heat-seeking missiles. The 49ers game and Packers game, they exposed our lack of speed and coverage, and it was one of the reasons why Ryan Poles said we got to get faster on defense. These two guys are what he wants, man. I'll tell you, man. Zim, thoughts on Devin Bush? I know you like the signing.
Oh yeah, the guy might have just had the best season of his career, and that's what you gotta hope that he didn't just do, But DA has this ability to make linebackers look great. I mean, he did it with Demario Davis. He did it with Tremaine Edmonds. He did it with TJ Edwards. I mean, granted, Edwards was only really there for like 3 games. He played really well in those 3 games. But yeah, I mean, Dennis Allen has a history of making linebackers look good. Shoot, he had people convinced that Manti Te'o might have a resurgence in this league. So that's Chicago Bears legend Manti Te'o. Sorry, excuse me there.
I
think it's a good move.
I had to say his career disappeared faster than his girlfriend did. I had to say it.
3 years, $30 million is not bad either, man. What I mean? That's a great deal.
It's significantly cheaper than you were going to be able to get for
Tremaine. Yeah, Tremaine.
And he's probably going to be significantly more valuable to the team during this time. Yeah, he's a little smaller, but he's the same age. Like, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Well, you guys brought up Tremaine Edmonds. He was released, saved the Bears $15 million in cap space. The Bears signed DeMarco Jackson and Devin Bush, 2 starters for less than Edmonds' cap hit.
So there you go.
He's cooking. Zim.
Shout out to you, Tooch, because you were high on DeMarco Jackson. You've been talking about him for a couple of weeks, man.
I did, man. It was a defensive player of the week, filling in for Tremaine. I think it was, I can't remember what week it was. Week 8, maybe?
Yeah, what do you have, like 11 tackles?
Yeah, against New Orleans,
15 tackles.
Yep, yeah, the Bears have officially rebuilt their entire linebacker room for the price of Roquan Smith.
Yep. That's what they did last time. They let Roquan Smith walk.
Well, TJ Edwards is still on the team. So they now have Edwards, Jackson, and Bush all for the same price as Roquan Smith. And mind you, Bush was a similar position draft pick. He was only drafted 1 spot later than where Roquan Smith was drafted.
And probably had his numbers probably this year look probably about the same as Roquan Smith. I would assume too.
Roquan Smith paid the Bears tax for the first 3 years of his career, where he got completely overlooked and completely snubbed from every award. And now that he's not on the Bears and he's on an elite defense in Baltimore, who, by the way, has to cheat in order to get the players they want. You know, he's now regarded as one of the best linebackers in the league, even though I can't recall him making an impact play since he left the Bears.
He's made a couple plays.
I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just saying, as a guy who doesn't watch the Ravens, every time I turn on the Ravens, I see Roquan near the ball, never like making the play though.
Well, that's what we used to say about Roquan. I remember when Three Kings.
That's what we used to say about Shea McClellan.
Hey, he's getting washed down the field every single time because he's so light in the pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't like that about him. He's always around the ball. He's always there. But you know what? Kyle Hamilton is the guy that everybody pays attention to in Baltimore when it comes to defense.
And I think the Bears just signed their Kyle Hamilton by getting Kobe Bryant out there.
Literally.
You know, and the thing is, like, as disappointed as I am at the end of the day with a lot of these free agent signings, and I shouldn't say disappointed, I should say underwhelmed. As underwhelmed as I am with all of it, like something I pointed out to somebody yesterday is like, think about it in a different perspective. Reframe yourself. We no longer, as Bears fans, have to go trade for DJ Moore or have to go trade for Brandon Marshall or have to go make the splash signing with Julius Pepper. We're in a position where we're now developing those guys within the organization. You know, the Bears are developing Rome Odunze, Colston Loveland, Kyle Monungai, Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams, Luther Burden, Austin Booker. You know, they're developing these guys themselves. Jalen Johnson is now a cornerstone on this team. Kyler Gordon is still here for another couple of years, and he's the skeleton key to this whole defense.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned this, Sim. I would not be surprised if the Bears in the first round take a cornerback, man, like if Avion Terrell or
I wouldn't. There is not a position.
Delane drops to 25. You know, cornerback is where first round is where you take cornerbacks, left tackles, quarterbacks.
I think the only guy they could draft
rushers
in the entire first round that would surprise me is Ty Simpson. I literally think anybody else, and I'd be like, yeah, I agree with that pick. Like, Poles has gained that benefit of the doubt, especially in the first round. He has hit on all of his first round picks. And as far as the rest of it goes, I mean, he's going to just take BPA. We know he's going to do best player available.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to give a little higher priority to positions in need, like defensive tackle, or if he deems corner in need. But
he said BPA.
Yep.
But he's going BPA.
And I agree with that 100%.
The Luther Burden pick is proof that he's actually going to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Colston Loveland as well.
Colston Loveland is I think, an excellent example of it. Nobody thought that they were taking him. Nobody.
No.
And yet they make that pick and the phones in the entire draft go silent. Like, that's what's crazy to me. Phones were ringing off the hook. You got people talking about making trades. They're browsing around, you know, they're panning cameras around the draft room. Every GM's on the phone. And then all of a sudden the Bears draft they draft Loveland and nobody's on the phones anymore. I mean, go rewatch the footage from last year's draft. All of a sudden, nobody's on the phones. Everybody's just, well, I guess now we have to, okay, we're gonna, and it's just like, it took the wind completely out of that draft. It's so weird how that draft slowed down so much after pick number 10.
Yeah, for sure.
To use a basketball analogy again, like I tend to, Poles is like turned into the point guard out there where everyone is everyone is reacting around the league, reacting to what Poles says or thinks he's going to do. Isaiah Thomas once said, you know, the point guard has the ball and he determines the actions of 9 other guys in the court. And it's like Poles is that guy. It's like a free agent becomes available. Everyone goes to see what the Bears are thinking. You know, the Bears are involved in this. It's amazing that it's like that it's all the attention, even when the Bears aren't in the mix for these big players, is on the Bears right now. and what they're going to do. It's kind of exciting, just for somebody who's been watching the Bears for over 40 years, and it's been kind of lame in a lot of ways. It's a lot of fun. Just
we're a free agent destination now.
Yeah. And even if they're not really going after it, it's like, what are the Bears doing? What's Ryan Poles thinking? He's controlling the actions of everybody else.
Man, for the first year that Ryan Poles was our GM, I was kind of like, oh man, this guy sucks. He's completely done a 180, man. I wanted to do I have it somewhere? Hold on a second. I wanted to go back and show you guys I had done this. Looking back on 2022 free agencies, our first big splash was signing Larry Ogunjobi, who, like Maxx Crosby, failed his physical. Yep. And then our next big splash move was Ryan Bates. His contract was matched by the Bills, and we signed Al-Qadin Muhammad. And our biggest wide receiver signing that year, Byron Pringle.
He wasn't wrong on Al-Qadin Muhammad. He was just early, all right.
He was early, yeah.
He was early.
I think what he was doing though, you got to look at. I believe everything has been. First of all, he's a new GM, so you can chalk it up to that. The Larry Ogunjobi thing, I wasn't upset with that because it was a situation where you don't get to. Yeah, I like the player at the time, but you don't get to meet with them, right? You can come to an agreement pending a physical, and that's what people didn't understand. All these, there's a point in time where you can't tamper with guys, and then when they become available, as soon as they're available, okay, we got this much money for you. If everything goes right, that you got it. You fail the physical, okay, we back out the deal. We turn about face and we do something else. He had a backup plan. Because he went and got somebody else, so I didn't hold that against him as much.
Oh no, I'm not holding it against him. I'm just saying that's what 2022 was like for us.
Exactly. But I do complain about Byron Pringle pretty much all the time. I'm still complaining about that.
I got killed on this program for I hated the Chase Claypool. A second round pick. It was like number 33 overall, man, for Chase Claypool, and everyone's like. They ripped me to shreds, man, on the show. Yeah.
I was a guy that said, "Hey, let's do it," because we had no wide receivers at the time. We were desperate.
Byron Pringle,
anybody, Demir Bird and Byron Pringle, get somebody in here to help the situation.
Zim, who's the GM of the Steelers?
Oh golly,
Khan?
I don't even remember.
Is it Khan?
Omar Khan. That's
Omar.
Right.
That guy. He is a bargain. I mean, he's a haggler, man. He will not give you anything, man. What was the move they made today? They got somebody for like a 6th round pick for someone today. I don't know who it was.
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't know the Steelers free agent moves. I
remember they traded for Michael Pittman for a pretty cheap
deal.
Yeah.
Pittman, that was exactly
they got
what it was.
Pittman for a 6th round pick.
And then they signed him to like a 3-year, $39 million deal or something silly like that.
Yeah, that's the one. They signed Michael Pittman Jr. for a 6th round pick. They got a 2nd round pick out of us for Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool
got a 2nd for DJ Moore, so he got a 2nd.
Chase Claypool was supposed to be the next big thing, man. Like a lot of Poles' moves are actually very defensible within the moment. In retrospect, I mean, hindsight's 2020. We can all pat ourselves on the back.
Hindsight will tell you don't make a deal with Omar Khan, Zim.
Well, I think he's finally learning that one because we haven't seen him engage in talks with them for a couple of years now since the Fields move. I think
the Colts just learned it.
Yeah, the Bears have always had a weird relationship with the Colts for some reason. I don't know why, but
it goes back to the Vince Tobin days when he left Chicago to Indianapolis.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
They brought Jim Harbaugh over. Yeah.
He traded Mac for a 2nd and a 6th. What's wrong with that?
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
Yep.
Then
I think with that Chase Claypool deal, I was high on it to begin with, and I understand that Chase Claypool, he had a decent year when he was a rookie. He had a decent 2nd year as well, and then you're sitting there and it's like he couldn't find his way in Pittsburgh. But the dude had talent, and I remember him in Notre Dame. He was good, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking at that, and then I look at his combine stuff. And in the history of the combine, there's only 2 players that have had his size, his speed, and his vertical. and that's him and Calvin Johnson. So I'm like, okay, the tangibles are there, like that stuff is there, right? But the intangibles, the things that we don't see, the mentality, the drive, all of that stuff, those things were lacking in him on the professional level, you might say. And then I guess he wanted to be a model at some point or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pick that we gave up for Chase Claypool turned into a pretty
32nd overall
for the Steelers.
Who was it?
A cornerback. God, what is it? He's the son of an NFL player that escapes me right now.
Joey Porter.
Yeah, is that Joey Porter Jr.? Yep. That is the pick that we traded for Chase Claypool. Became Joey Porter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say I was like Michael Porter Jr., but that's a basketball player.
I think a lot of what Poles was doing too is not tanking, but he wasn't going after top-notch guys in that first couple of years because we knew, and he knew he was turning the roster completely over. Now you see a completely different Poles when it comes to free agency. When it
Bears
comes to
fans resented him for this, for doing Justin Fields dirty.
Exactly.
Right? What's that one guy that always?
Black Dick will tell you that every time.
Black
Dick,
he'll
tell you that. He'll tell you that to this day. Absolutely.
All right.
To this day.
Olamide Zaccheaus signs back with the Falcons, but we got Khalif Raymond.
There he is.
I spelled it wrong. It's Raymond, not Raymond. I left the D off.
Raymond.
I was throwing
Khalif
these
Raymond.
together.
Raymond Harris.
Khalif Raymond, 1 year, $5.1 million. Just a 1 year deal to fill in here. Give us some wide receiver depth. He also can return kicks, man. 289 yards, punt returns, and 1 punt return touchdown, man. 24 receptions, 289 yards receiving. He's 31 years old, but man, this was a guy that was on my list. I thought the Bears should look into signing for some wide receiver depth. This signing is not a big splash, but it makes me happy. He knows Ben Johnson's system. Ben Johnson knows the player. And he returns kicks, man. We don't need Devin Duvernay back. This guy has had some big catches against the Bears. At least we got him off the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it; it's a great signing in my opinion because he's going to be that fifth receiver, right? I don't think he's going to be it's not like he's going to be a starter or anything like that, but he'll be a fifth receiver. And when you got a guy coming in like that who's got speed, he's going to be able to make some plays. He'll probably have something similar to what he had there, 24 catches over the course of the season. And there'll be some catches in key moments that he makes that really, maybe move the sticks or, he'll score a touchdown somewhere on a kick return or something. He'll earn his pay. That $5 million is not breaking the bank, but it's a value deal for him.
Zim, you and I have talked about signing players like this. When you look at the Bears wide receiver room, guys, you've got Rome Odunze, who is coming off that foot injury and had a big case of the drops. Then you got Luther Burden, who everyone wants to see more. And now they traded away DJ Moore. Some snaps opened up. He's been highly productive with the time that he was on the field, man. I don't know, almost 3 yards per route run. But the Jade Walker, Khalif Raymond will be fighting for third wide receiver snaps. And then after that, it's anybody's ball. I'm trying to look at who the Bears have. Maurice Alexander at wide receiver. None of these guys are exciting,
No,
but maybe they look at wide receiver in the draft as well. There's a J.P. Richardson there, and man, that's pretty thin. I would not be surprised if they do draft a wide receiver because man, it's deep. I would love. I watched Aaron Anderson of LSU, the LSU receiver, the little guy. Man, he is like so shifty. Reminds me of Tyreek Hill and Julian Edelman and Wes Welker, those guys that could run on the slot and just create separation immediately. A guy like that is someone who's missing from the Bears arsenal. I think I wouldn't mind to see really good slot player. I know Khalif Raymond can play in the slot as well too, but that might be missing. What do you think, Eric? Khalif Raymond happy with the signing?
Very happy. So something I just recently pointed out in an article I wrote about Khalif Raymond when he signed with the Bears, when he was featured as a slot option in Ben Johnson's offense, the passer rating for quarterbacks was over 110. So what that translates to is whenever the ball is thrown his way, good things happen. And he's a tough he's a tough son of a bitch. He will do the dirty work for you. He's got world-class speed, 2-time All-Pro as a kick and punt returner. So the Bears get a 3-for-1 type of player in Khalif Raymond. At the same time, I won't be surprised at all if one of the first 4 picks between rounds 1 and 3 is used on a receiver with world-class speed.
I agree.
And that, again, goes back to when DJ Moore got moved. Like, okay, so the Bears are now have an opportunity to add players with world-class speed to shore up the depth a little bit. You give Luther Burden III that big runway to take off. Same thing with Roma Dunze. Colson Loveland now is going to be a big focal point of the passing game, as he should, because he led all the receiving last year, and he's way ahead of schedule. So you got 2 excellent backs in the backfield. I mean, you got DeAndre Swift, you got Kyle Monaghan, who showed some pop in the screen game. So I won't be surprised at all if one of either the 2 second-round picks or the 3rd-round pick is used on a world-class athlete at wide receiver
or running back. I could see
or
too.
Running back.
I know Swift showed some breakaway last season. DeAndre Swift had a career year. I think
absolutely was a career year for him.
Absolutely great signing. I think we could get some juice out of him. I'd hate to see him go, and he's affordable as well. We upgraded Khalif Raymond as an upgrade over Devin Duvernay because Duvernay doesn't give you much in the receptions.
Devin Duvernay and Olumide Zaccheaus. He's an upgrade over both. He is more sure-handed than Zaccheaus. You know, I love Zaccheaus as a player, man, but he had some really drops.
Yeah.
Like the Washington game really stood out. I'm like, you can't be serious. But now you've got a 3-for-1 deal in Raymond coming to the Bears. And plus,
it's a great signing.
It feels nice that he's no longer in Detroit. He's now in Chicago. We can have exact some revenge against Detroit in a few months from now.
Yep. I mean, bottom line, it makes us better.
It does.
Bottom line, it makes us better. Improvement over both those guys. Another under the radar signing that Ryan Poles made, and we talk about Swiss Army safety and Swiss Army wide receiver. This guy's a Swiss Army defensive back, arguably the replacement for Chauncey Gardner Jr. He's a little small, but Lance Leopold, his former coach at University of Buffalo, who's now the head coach at Kansas, said he's the toughest player he ever coached. Cameron Lewis with the Bills defensive back, 2 years, $6 million. Filled up the stat sheet again. Danikin, 43 tackles, 4 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles. He's a 6-year veteran, 28 years old, 5'9", 183. Special teams and defensive back depth. We got faster. I love Chauncey Gardner Johnson, but man, he just could not keep up with some of that speed. His legs are too short, or he just. I love the player though, man, because he's usually in the right place at the right time. Pretty assignment sound, playmaker with the veteran instincts.
At this point in his career, he's probably better suited as a safety, in my opinion. CJ, but I agree. He was having. They had him playing, cornerback because the Bears were short there. Pretty much all year.
Literally every time.
He got burned. He was getting burned. Now he did make some plays. That's why I said he's better suited as safety, because when he blitzes, he's a great blitzer from one of those safety spots or whatever. He's good at that, and he's also he can make some plays in the backfield if he's playing safety, in my opinion. But I think he's better suited for that. They were playing him out of position, and it is what it is at that point.
Well, then C.J. Gardner Johnson played safety for Dennis Allen in New Orleans, so there is the actual history.
Yep.
When he went to the Philadelphia Eagles and had that career year, he was a safety.
He was a safety. Yep.
And it kind of makes you think maybe he is the safety that gets paired with Kobe Bryant.
It's possible.
That's possible.
It's possible. He's a veteran. He knows how to play, and I think, like I said, he's better suited to play safety instead of like nickel or something like that.
Yep. But then on the topic of Cameron Lewis, that Swiss Army knife kind of guy, like that backup nickel kind of player behind Kyler Gordon. And I mean, he is, again, one of the toughest players you can ever face against on the field. Does all the little things right. He's not going to wow you. He's not going to make all these splashy plays. He just gets the job done. And that was just, I think, one of the biggest weaknesses last year is no depth in the secondary.
We were destroyed by injuries.
Yep. Happened left and right. So we had to get somebody. He's played in 17 games in each of the last 2 years with the Buffalo Bills. And coverage concepts that are going to be similar to what he will be playing in Chicago. And I do think he kind of pluses up a bit on the bottom side of the depth chart. Takes a lot of uncertainty out of the equation now. I think it's kind of like a low buy, low expectation, high value type signing is the way I look at it.
You can
have all the stars. Yep, great. You have to have stars as starters, but then you have to have guys as backups, and he is a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, can fill in anywhere. Can fill in anywhere. All four
this
spots.
This signing means you never have to see Nick McLeod again. Like that's what it said to me.
But you know what? You will see. You'll see this guy again. The Bears re-signing Elijah Hicks, safety.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Tackles. 4-year veteran, 26 years old, 5'11", 204. Good special teams player, man. Provides that defensive backfield depth.
This might be your second safety. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yep.
There was, I think, was
I'm sure they're going to give him a chance to compete.
There was a very real chance he was going to go somewhere and get a chance to start.
There
might have been
so impressive, though.
It is.
This class is absurd.
It's just insane. There's talent all the way into the
and
fourth.
In my opinion, if
even
somebody like Deneman from Oregon is there at 25, like you take him.
I'm sprinting to the podium. I'm sprinting to that damn podium.
No, I think Hicks gives you the option where you don't have to do that. You don't have to go draft a safety now. Hicks is a guy who knows your system, who knows your team, who's respected in your locker room, who can start and has started for this team in the past. You know, he was your third safety. He was your third safety. You know, he beat Jonathan Owens out, a guy who was brought in for that job.
I'm glad you said I don't think he's back. Not only that, but I don't think we need the Simone Biles distraction anymore. Did she come in wearing a Packers gear her first time at Soldier Field?
Oh yeah, she did do that. Yeah,
it's like, come on.
She's clearly not a football fan. She didn't know better.
Tell her.
No, I mean it just this. I actually really like bringing him back. It takes so much pressure off of the team to do anything. It's a guy with the familiarity. I mean, I've always liked him. I think he's incredibly underrated by Bears fans. But especially by people who don't know him. I think if you were to come into next year and have to start Elijah Hicks 17 games, I think you're comfortable with that. I genuinely do. He can play just like Kobe Bryant. He can play either safety position. Can he play them at the same level? Obviously not. That's why he's not getting the same kind of deal.
Radar signing by polls that he's increasing the depth, improving the depth, and increasing the depth.
That's it. And you have to start league average players at certain positions, right? Yeah. And safety is one of those positions throughout the league that teams regularly, I don't want to say cheap out on, but they make those tough decisions at. You're not going to pay a safety the same amount that you're going to pay another a high-level skill position.
Right.
And so
one of your safeties.
That's it.
Another one will be like, no.
That's it. You can get away with paying a safety. Who lined up opposite of Eric Berry? Because I genuinely don't know. But Eric Berry got paid a lot of freaking money to make some good plays out there for the Chiefs, you know? And it's stuff like that. Like, you know, Eric Weddle's another example, you know?
Yeah.
Just because the Seahawks were able to do it with Earl Thomas and Bam Bam, Cam Chancellor, doesn't mean that every team is able to do it.
Right.
And it was fun while it lasted with Brisker and Byard, but I think it's time to go, you know, you got to make those decisions, and you're already paying two big players, well, now three big players in your secondary. You can't afford to pay both safeties.
Yeah.
Yep.
Safety is a position that you kind of skimp out on, like you said. I mean,
It's a luxury
I think
position.
yeah, and at the end of the day, safety. It's a different game now. They're the last line of defense. We just need you to not mess up and let somebody get into the end zone, right? That's the deal. They're not as valuable as they used to be with like Steve Atwater or Ronnie Lott or guys like that, Sean Taylor. Those types of guys, they're not as valuable. They're more valuable now if they can come down and play a little bit of linebacker like a Kyle Hamilton does sometimes, and stuff like that. So. But they're it's notorious. With the way the money is and it's structured, that's just a position that's gonna get the low end of the totem pole. You know what I mean? When it comes to getting paid and things like that, so they don't value it as high and as they used to.
Yeah, another good under the radar signing by Ryan Poles, and a couple other smaller signings. Daniel Hardy comes back.
Daniel Hardy, that's a great special teams player.
That's such a good move,
arguably our best, one of our best special team players. He comes back for 2 years, $5 million.
Well, and a guy that they're not afraid to throw into the defensive line rotation as well. You know?
Yep, and Case Keenum back 2 years, $5.5 million, returns to mentor Caleb Williams, a 13-year veteran, 38 years old. Basically just the coach in the room with Caleb. I don't think it means that Tyson Bagent is getting traded.
Well, that's what everybody was saying.
I know.
Yeah, Bagent's out the door. Bagent's gone.
It's the same contract he was already on, just 2 years instead of 1.
Yeah, and it's like I feel the ship has already sailed for a Tyson Bagent trade because the Jets, who they even openly expressed Tyson Bagent in a tweet of theirs about a couple weeks ago. I'm like, hold on a minute, the Jets are talking about Tyson Bagent? So I was thinking they'd trade for him, but nope, they traded for Geno Smith. And that was a surprise. But actually, that's the Raiders being the Raiders. They literally gave up a draft pick and Geno Smith just for 1 draft pick, which was a 7th-round pick. They literally said, here, we'll give you a 7th-round pick. Just take them. And and then the Cardinals, I don't know what the hell they're doing at quarterback. They just they signed, what was it, Gardner Minshew.
Did they? Okay. Jacoby Brissett actually played pretty well for them, I thought.
He played better than Kyler Murray did.
Yeah, fantastic.
Maybe the Cardinals, but
at football or Call of Duty,
they were sniffing around Tyson Bagent though.
They were, and I feel like for the Bears to actually move on from Tyson Bagent, it would have to be like a draft pick they weren't expecting. So my price for him, honest to God, like I had him valued as a 4th-round pick because you look at the history of quarterback trades, very few players with less time than Tyson Bagent ever moved for more than a 4th-round pick.
Right.
So I think in order for the Bears to say, okay, yes, we're going to trade Tyson Bagent, who Ben Johnson loves very much as a backup quarterback, it would have to be like a 3rd-round pick.
I agree.
Or heavens to Betsy, a 2nd-round pick, which will never happen.
Well, that is reportedly a rumor that 2nd round is their asking price for Tyson.
As well, it should be.
Just like it should be the asking price.
Because he's worth more to the Bears than he is a 2nd-round pick right at this point in time.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, or at least for a 4th-round pick.
You've got to have a good backup.
He's worth more than a 4th-round pick in their current situation.
He's worth a starter's price. If he's going to a team, if the Bears are trading him to a team, they are not trading him to be a backup. They're trading him to be a starter. And if you are trading for a starting quarterback, a 4th-round pick does not get you a starter. That gets you a backup. You need at least a 2nd-round pick to get a starter. I'm sorry, who?
Nick Foles went for a 4th-round pick.
Nick Foles is a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Now he is.
No, he always was.
So.
He always was, and we always knew it, even on the Bears.
Super Bowl winning quarterback.
As a backup.
Yeah, but that
might be their starting point, man. To be honest,
that's my golden rule about quarterbacks. If you trade for a quarterback, whether it's a 4th-round pick, 5th-round pick, some Lake Willis to Green Bay, the figurative ham sandwich. If you trade for a quarterback, whether it be a 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick, 2nd-round pick, whatever, you're expecting him to play. You're not trading a draft pick to have him sit on the bench. You're trading for a quarterback because you think
Unless
He's
you're
going to
Seattle.
start. Same thing with Seattle. Same thing with Green Bay all those years.
I think Seattle didn't they trade for Matt Flynn?
Yes.
Yep.
Did trade for Matt
Off of
Flynn.
one game, basically.
Yeah, the Packers were trading their backup quarterbacks almost every season.
Matt Hasselbeck.
I don't
was
believe
a
they
trade.
traded him. I think they signed him outright.
Yeah, it was a
No,
sign.
you're right. You're right.
Okay.
He was a free agent signing.
Okay.
Matt
Yeah,
Hasselbeck
right.
was traded to the Seahawks.
Mark Brunell was traded from the Packers to the Jaguars.
Then all the Packer quarterbacks that sucked outside of New England, like Brian Hoyer and Jimmy Garoppolo and Matt Castle, who went for an absurd deal for like, what was it, 2 second-round picks for Matt Castle?
Yeah.
Chiefs.
He could never be the king of his own castle.
The backup quarterback du jour of the Packers, Zim, Malik Willis signs with the Dolphins, joins Matt Halfley.
Matt Halfley and John Eric Sullivan, the GM,
Right,
is
the
also
GM.
from Green Bay.
Right.
Just like I told you that would happen like
Yep,
2 months
exactly.
ago because it was the most obvious move ever.
It was super obvious. It was just
When they were like, "Oh, Malik Willis to the Cardinals," I was like, "Why?"
no way. It was Malik Willis to Miami from day one. Like
There's no way it wasn't.
Zim,
I texted
do
Greg.
have
I
a-
texted everybody. He is
I
a Dolphin.
did make you a graphic, Zim. This graphic is just for you. I'm waiting for the right time to spring it on you. I think while we're talking Packers, I might as well do it now. But I'm talking about the decaying of the Packers roster.
There it is.
Yeah, roster decay. They lose Rashawn Gary, Elton
man.
Jenkins, Key Walker, Malik Willis, Nate Hobbs, Kingsley Enagbare, Romeo Dobbs, Rasheed Walker, and Colby Wooden.
Where did Dobbs end up?
He went to the Patriots.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
He's their Stephon Diggs replacement.
Your thoughts, Zim, on the decaying of the Packers roster?
Happens to every team. Do one for the Bears next. I
But
mean,
this one feels a little bit better to us.
no, they didn't have a very good roster in the first place. Now it's just a little bit worse. Like they went
This
from
is
a
good.
they went from a third place roster to a fourth place roster. Like, actually, probably not. The Vikings
Yeah.
are still a
It
fucking
went from a
mess.
7 seed roster to an 8 seed.
And
I mean, yeah, I don't see them looking that much
So
worse.
true,
I don't see
Fitz.
them looking any better. Like, this wasn't a very good roster to begin with, and now it's just full of guys who are even older and even more
they
overpaid.
might finish behind the Vikings next year.
Dude, I think we've already
think
seen
they'll
Jordan
finish
Love's
last.
peak.
Yeah.
Like, I think Love has peaked as a quarterback.
Yes.
I
They're
think
sniffing
that's
around
why-
for Tyson Bagent.
That's why I gave you the
Yeah.
guy. Last week I put up the odds for the Bears to win the NFC North. It's like plus 350.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
like third.
It's got to
Yeah.
be different. It's got to be changed now that the Packers lost all these players. But maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe the bookmakers have. I'll check it later. Maybe the bookmakers haven't caught up with it.
I sit here in awe because I remember for so many years, all these Packer fans would talk shit about Rashawn Gary being better than Montez Sweat. And then you got like Romeo Dobbs, the second coming of a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Not going to happen. And then they trade away Rashawn Gary for a ham sandwich to the Dallas Cowboys for a 2027, what was it, a 5th-round pick?
Yeah.
2027 pick. And I told this to Greg, I told this to so many people. The Packers, even with Micah Parsons, weren't scaring me or really anybody else. When Micah Parsons was nice and healthy, the Packers weren't blowing teams out of the water. Jordan Love, to Zim's point, Jordan Love has peaked. I mean, he is who he is. He is not a special Hall of Fame quarterback like
He's a
Aaron
guy
Rodgers
you win
or
with,
Favre.
not a guy you win because
Zim has
of.
been saying this for
He's a guy that's along
time.
for the ride. I think he's more of a Rex Grossman than anything else. He's a guy that's along for the ride.
I said the same thing earlier this year, and I got lit up for it. So.
Hey man,
It's true, though.
Lay into him, guys.
Wow.
Jordan Love will make some god awful like what the fuck moment.
I
plays.
completely agree. I put it out there. It's on my Twitter feed if you go look for it.
Oh yeah, me too. I
One,
torment Packer fans, man. I have no.
1 week you think
sympathy.
he's.
At all.
I mean, from throw to throw, Jordan Love will make an amazing throw, and on the very next play, he'll throw to an uncovered DB, and you're just like, "What the?"
Yep.
Like, what are you
Speaking
doing?
of amazing throws, give me 18 seconds of your life right now.
As they get to the Green Bay 49, Williams chased, throws, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. Roma Dunze.
Let's go back to that
That's how a
Speaking of
real
amazing
elite
throws, I can
quarterback
throw a
plays.
bunch out there. Yeah.
You know, it's so nice to see that against Green Bay now because we kept getting screwed by Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre for so many years because of plays just like that one.
Right. Thank you.
And now it's exactly
no, those plays were quite different from that one, if I recall correctly, because that was Caleb escaping the pocket, rolling out, and making a good throw
Rodgers and
to an open receiver. From what I recall, Aaron Rodgers would roll out. David Bakhtiari would either trip or hold somebody in the process. Yeah. Then Rodgers would throw the ball to usually somebody committing OPI.
Or Chris Conte completely forgets he has to play man coverage that play.
None of you guys were alive, but Fran Tarkenton used to torment the Bears.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah,
I was just a kid.
The only quarterback worth a damn in Minnesota's history.
Yeah.
No, Randall Cunningham played there.
He played there, but let me rephrase that. The only quarterback that Minnesota developed themselves.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Because I was going to say,
start with the Giants.
We got a list here.
Came up with the Giants.
He started on the Giants. Yeah.
So Minnesota really can't even develop their own quarterbacks. Right.
Well, I mean, he wasn't as good until he got to Minnesota. But
the only quarterback they had was Dante Culpepper, and he wasn't that good. He just had Randy Moss.
He was a free agent signing. He was from the Dolphins.
Had Randy Moss.
Yep, he came from the Dolphins.
Culpepper was a draft.
No.
Culpepper went to the Dolphins afterwards. Okay,
yes.
I had it backwards.
Yep. He was a Viking first, then it went to the Dolphins.
But it's hard to fail when you have Randy Moss on one side and Chris Carter on the other. If you're Dante Culpepper, you walked into a perfect situation.
And yet
he did. Come on.
And yet he still failed. Like, it's almost impressive.
Mike Tice was their coach. I remember that. Mike Tice with the Vikings and Randy Moss. And
didn't they miss their draft pick one year with Mike Tice?
Yeah, he did. Yep. They didn't turn it in on time. So they had to wait like 7 picks until they finally turned in their selection, which was for for a defensive tackle? I can't remember who it was.
I don't remember, yeah.
I was laughing too hard.
The Ravens ran up there as soon as the 15 minutes expired. The dirty Ravens.
I actually watched that replay on YouTube. Like, the Vikings forgot the pick. They didn't turn the pick in.
The Ravens were right there on the spot because it's like,
what the hell are they doing?
Like the Ravens, they're like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna make a jailbreak, and just freaking went up there and got the player that they had hoped to God would still be there.
That's crazy.
All right, we got a couple things to get to real quick before we get to Fitz's food review. The Ozzie Trapillo injury left the Bears in a bit of a quandary. You know, what do? We figured they would sign some, maybe a 1-year contract for some veteran left tackles. And we had talked about, man, if they signed Braxton Jones, are we going to be regretting it midway through the season? Why did we re-sign this bum? But he's back, Danikin. He's back. 1 year, $5 million. He's maybe healthy, but it gives him a chance to test free agency next year. His numbers are there.
It makes me wonder, like, how big was the demand for Braxton Jones, or does he just like Chicago? Because I didn't see him coming back to Chicago, seeing how he got benched twice, by 2 guys stepped in and took his spot. You got
last season.
Trapillo and Benedict, right? They both surpassed him. So it's like I was surprised at that signing, but I think he's a decent backup to have. I really do. I think Braxton Jones is a decent backup to have.
Well, hey, he started as a rookie on the left tackle.
Every game's a rookie.
He started every game as a rookie, and many more after that. 44 starts total for the Bears.
How much stock did we put in that?
Yeah, I know. We didn't have anybody.
And not only that, but
over the blind spot during the tank years.
Exactly. Yep. During the tank years, the years where they sacrificed Justin Fields.
Right, exactly. You can hear Black Ditka talking in the background somewhere. I can hear his thoughts.
You know what's crazy, though, is with Braxton Jones, I mean, he was never 100% last year, and I said it from the get-go. Ozzie Trapillo will be the left tackle at some point last year, and he did. And he earned that job the hard way, where Theo Benedict wasn't really cutting mustard as a pass protector. Great in the run game. Same thing with Braxton Jones, decent in the run game, but they weren't really consistently good in pass protection. Ozzie Trapillo, he came in there, he took over.
Yep.
As I thought, he's
Really
a very
played
close
well.
comparison to Taylor Decker. I compared him a lot to Taylor Decker. Size, athleticism, ability to pivot, bend. I mean, the guy's damn near 6'9", and he's able to like basically move like a mobile island. Well, 6'8",
and he has the anchor that Braxton Jones
and he has the anchor that Braxton Jones. That's why I said last year is that, and that's what really made me so sick when I saw Ozzie Trapillo, get off the field, and it was announced that he had his injury, and I'm like, that's a significant injury that he's going to miss most, if not all, 2026.
Yeah, it's the new ACL tear.
The ruptured patellar tendon. That's a nasty injury to come back from.
If I was him, I would just sit out the entire year too. I mean, it doesn't make sense to come because I don't see him coming back anytime before December.
Yep.
You try to rush it, be like Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones, you could say, rushed from a significant injury of his own because he never had much of an anchor. And as I told people that he's going to struggle because he never had a strong anchor before. Yeah. Now he's coming back with an even weaker base, and now he's just getting mowed over by every.
Well, maybe he's a little more healthy. Maybe Dan Richard could get him in position with some hand placement and anchor.
That's hope between him and then with Jedrick Willis Jr. he just signed today.
Yep.
Have a good competition. They're both 26 years old. Think about it this way. They're both 26. They're both young. Just hypothetically, if one of them just knocks it out of the park this year, if one of them steps up, plays very, very well at left tackle, now the Bears have an interesting decision. They have a young player, whether it be Jedrick Willis Jr. or if it would be Braxton Jones, they play well for the 1 year. Do you go ahead and commit to that one player long term? Do you let him
depends on how they play?
Or do they just wind up drafting a guy in a couple, about a month or so? It's interesting where they're buying low, but the potential is very high. I mean, Jedrick Willis,
first round pick.
Yep. 10 overall. Yeah, he's 10 overall. He played at Alabama. Overall. I mean, he's a football player.
Yep.
Now he did sit out last year, right, because of that knee injury.
Yeah, the injury.
So, he got injured in 2023, right?
Yep. Sat out 2024.
No, 2024 he came back, but I think he came back a little bit too early, and he ended up getting hurt again.
He reactivated his injury.
Right. Yeah. So then in 2025, he sat out all of 2025 to fully heal, and you never know what happens, man. It's a buy low situation. Maybe you could salvage something out of his career at this point.
Okay. And Dan Rochar is one of the very best offensive line coaches in the league. He's revised careers before.
There's no risk and it's high reward. So I mean,
Absolutely.
really under the radar signing by polls. Look, the Ozzie Trapillo injury, the Drew Dahlman retirement. The strength. It really because the strength of the team last year was arguably their offensive line. They're one of the best offensive lines in the league. Now you're again trying to fill two spots. I think Pohl's doing what he can. Greg Gabriel's adamant that they will not take a left tackle in the draft because Ozzie's there. Look, Ozzie Trapillo, man, he might not come back at all next year, and then who knows if he's gonna play at the same level. I mean, the Bears went through this with Mark Colombo, another Boston College offensive lineman who showed a lot of promise. That devastating injury, and he wasn't the same. He went to Dallas, the Cowboys after that, played pretty well there.
Became an All-Pro.
Yeah, became an All-Pro. But the Bears kind of gave up on him. Maybe that's what Greg's angling at. I don't know. But if Spencer Fano drops to 25, you got to consider it.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. It's competition. Football is always going to be a savage business. You can literally lose your job based off of one game, whether you get hurt, whether you're terrible for one game. Yep. You can literally lose your job due to one freak incident, and that's my biggest fear with Ozzie Trapillo is the injury he has is going to be significant for a long-term perspective. It's going to take him over a year to fully recover. And I love Ozzie Trapillo in the draft. I said it on this show last year. Ozzie Trapillo is a starting left tackle. He is a starting player at left tackle. And he played the players he went up against, his career debut, Maxx Crosby. And the other players he went up against, Myles Garrett, the very best defensive ends outside linebackers in the league, was who he started his career off against, and he held his own. And that's just what was heartbreaking is when I saw him, like they announced the injury, I'm like, you can't be serious. Because now the Bears have to expect the worst, hope for the best.
And in the end of the season, the very end.
The postseason.
The postseason, right.
So, but are you willing to give Trapillo a shot to get his job back?
That's the problem.
Like, when he gets healthy, do you, at this point in time, when he's healthy, do you expect him to come back and compete for the starting left tackle position?
And that's my predicament is just
because if you do,
here's the thing though, is I don't believe in giving a guy a shot.
I didn't say giving him a shot. I said expect him to compete.
Okay, I thought you said do you give him a shot to win?
No, you're right. I misspoke at first because you're right. No, you can't just give it to him. But do you expect him to come back and compete and give an honest effort to take that job back?
I expect him to compete because he's a football player.
Well, so why wouldn't you do the same for Braxton Jones this year? A guy who lost his job due to injury, a guy who came back, was not able to compete at that level, and that's why he lost that job again. So now he is fully healthy. He is back to 100%. Do you not believe that he should be able to compete? I'm just saying
I think he should compete. If you're a football player and you go into the football game, or if you go into training camp, you should compete for a job, right? So at the end of the day, the cream of the crop will always rise to the top. Guys will be able to recognize who's going to be a good player, who's going to be lacking, and who's not going to work out. So if Braxton Jones comes back or Jedrick Wills comes in and he shines, if either of those guys shine and they that's what I want. I want to see the competition, and I want to see somebody take a stranglehold on the position and say, hey, this is mine. I'm taking it. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. That was what we saw last year in training camp. It's just, but from Ozzie Trapillo had to learn the left tackle position, so he struggled out of the gate. Mm-hmm. There wasn't one player last year who jumped at the job and took it over in training camp. So they kind of said, all right, Braxton, we're going to ride with you.
Yeah, and the veteran.
He wasn't 100%, and then he just wasn't playing well. So Theo Benedet took over.
He did not trust his leg. You could see it.
His legs look so thin, man.
In defense of Jones, the man had one leg bigger than the other.
It was clear.
It was clear.
He was going to do.
But I watched Kyle Long do the same thing. Dudes who are built like that can do it,
Mm-hmm.
Like we all saw it. And what year was that? Like 2016 when Kyle Long came back from his leg injury and he was playing right guard with one leg. Like, I swear to God, it looked like he was wearing a size 10 shoe on one foot and a size 13 on the other. His leg was so much smaller than the other.
Yeah, but I think Wills Jr. will beat out Braxton Jones. I think he's got more potential, more upside. I think he's a more seasoned player. I think he just had an injury, same as Braxton Jones. But at the end of the day, I think he's more equipped, or you know what I mean. But this is football, and your mind and your heart also go into this. Who's going to step up to the situation? And we'll see, man. We'll see who does.
And you can never have too many offensive linemen.
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
Never have enough.
Win the job. Don't just give it to someone. I want to see somebody actually win the job.
I feel way better about offensive line today than I did a week ago. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's valid.
Like between the two left tackles and the center that they've acquired.
Yeah,
I feel like this is actually a manageable offensive line at this point. You have a legitimate starter at center. Yep. You have a young guy who you've been developing to play center in Luke Newman. And then you've got 3 potential candidates that left at 4, even if you think that Karan Amagaji is actually going to be able to do something this year. Probably not, but you've at least got 4 guys that you can say, go earn it.
I think he's going to be moved to guard. I was a big fan of Karan Amagaji, but I also said his best position was guard. So now maybe he gets moved to guard.
I think his best position these days is probably injury settlement, but I mean, it's brutal to say, but the guy just has never been healthy. Never.
Yeah.
The Jedrick Wills signing, the Braxton Jones signing, are they done though? I've always been like, man, if there's a left tackle there that I have as the best player available, and I'm Ryan Poles, I'm grabbing him, and I'm like saying, I don't know if Ozzy Trapillo is great. He may never come back and be the same guy. And Greg Gamble's been, well, you just spent a second-round pick. You can't double down there. You got to give Darnell Wright a massive contract after this season, right? Or during the season, maybe before the season. He's due a big bag. Does any thought go into that before the draft?
I disagree with Greg. Yeah.
Okay. I do too, kind of.
And I disagree with him because, when he's saying that you can't double down, I believe, yes, you can.
I do too.
When you're addressing the trenches, I want the trenches dressed every single year. If you draft a guy on the line every single year, I'm not afraid. I'm happy with that.
Yep. Built through the trenches.
So I think I disagree with him there. I think you can double down, and hey, whoever wins the job wins the job. You move
Eric's going to text Greg after this. You should have heard what these guys said.
Hey, no worries. I'm in the same mindset because Greg and I are great friends, but also we definitely have our healthy conversations about what's the better move for the Bears. Of course, I'm going to say he's more right than wrong compared to me, but I've had my moments I'm right too, so I'll put that out there.
Yes,
all seriousness. Just hypothetically, if someone like Caden Proctor just happened to be there at 25th overall, are you really going to pass on him? Or are you going to take the opportunity and say, you know what? He could potentially be my mainstay at left tackle for many, many years. He could potentially come in if he is someone that you grade out as Ryan Poles as a day one starter at left tackle.
There's some good left tackles in this draft.
There are some excellent ones between really the first 4 picks the Bears have in the top 80. They're in an excellent spot to pick up an offensive lineman, whether it be a center or a tackle.
Yep. The Bears were at Kansas State Pro Day scouting Sam Heck.
That was what I'm about to say. Heck is a heck of a player.
Yeah,
pun fully intended. And it's just if the best player on that board is a left tackle, you really have to give it some thought maybe I do pull the trigger here. If somehow a blue chip player falls to you 24th or 25th overall, kind of hate to say it, when Green Bay just had Aaron Rodgers fall straight to their lap at 24th overall, they trusted the board and went with the best player. If the Bears happen to have that same scenario where somehow, some way, one of the best offensive tackles in the entire draft make it there to 25, you've got to give it some serious thought because you can never overinvest in offensive linemen. You just can't. It's not possible.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can't. There's the old military saying, you have hope in one hand, reality in the other. Which one fills up faster?
See which one fills up faster.
Which one fills up faster? I hope Ozzy Trapillo makes a full recovery and plays. Does reality back that up? You have to ask yourself critically as GM, is the reality there?
Yeah, you could also trade out of 25 too.
That too. Hey, if you want to trade out of 25 too.
When you're talking Caden Proctor, you're hitting me where I live. I live in Des Moines. We had him at Southeast Polk High School here. He was a man among boys. Southeast Polk High School. That's where former Bear Kyle Orton is quarterbacks coach. Ortman. Yeah, he still lives in Des Moines area.
That's just so there's so many opportunities. If one of the blue chip players falls to you, but between rounds 1 and 3, you've got to at least look into taking it because you never know if you're going to have that chance again.
Yeah. If it's somebody that's outrageously talented at left tackle, I consider it because in the first round, left tackle, cornerback, edge rusher, quarterback, those are really the positions that go in the first round all the time. They're usually the best players, the most sought-after players, highest paid players as well. You have to think about it at least. All right. Man, we're really hitting it out of the park here. Let's get to Fitz's restaurant review because I got some lighter stuff after that. Fitz, you want to set it up a little bit?
Yeah, we got Porter Cullen's. It's a nice Irish pub in the neighborhood of Evergreen Park on the south side of Chicago. A little more modern than your traditional Irish pub, but still hits hits a home run with all of the good traditional favorite foods, and it's right in the middle of the neighborhood, and it's like right amongst houses. It's just a great South Side Irish place to go. So yeah, let's hit it and see all the good fun food I had.
I love a good Irish pub, I tell you. All right, here we go.
Everybody did.
Got a taste for some traditional Irish fare? Head on over to Porter Cullen's Irish Pub in Evergreen Park, where every day is St. Patrick's Day. Porter Cullen's at 3541 West 99th Street in Evergreen Park, Illinois, has all of your traditional Irish favorites and some new soon-to-be classics, like their Irish egg rolls with homemade corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, served with pickled aioli and Thousand Island dressing. Also the traditional favorites, like their Guinness fish and chips, tender deep-fried cod, flaky Guinness batter with fries and their homemade tartar sauce, and their famous shepherd's pie with beef, peas, carrots, homemade gravy, fresh mashed potatoes, and Parmesan cheese. And wash it down with a refreshing pint of Harp served on tap. Overall, Porter Cullen's is a smash and gets a 317 on the Fitzometer. That's Porter Cullen's at 3541 West 99th Street in Evergreen Park, Illinois. Where should I eat next? Comment in the replies, hashtag FitzMagicEats, and check out all of my reviews on my YouTube channel at FitzMagicShy.
You gotta have egg rolls now.
Yeah, was that egg roll place you went to that was like all sorts of egg rolls?
Tasty rolls? Yeah.
Rolls, yeah. Refresh. Where's that one again?
That's in Bellwood.
Oh, okay.
On the west side, western suburb.
Yeah.
Now those look good. That a Reuben.
The corned beef.
I want to try that.
They're delicious. Yeah.
So funny story. So I've actually been like a food service officer and I have a little bit of a culinary background myself. And I'll just point this out because I know there's a good Irish friend of mine, Syrian, who loves to talk about Chicago Bears as well. He is probably yelling in my ear that that's not a shepherd's pie. That is a cottage pie.
Yes.
Shepherd's pie is made with lamb.
Yes.
Cottage pie is made with beef. So just like for the Irish to really chime in. But that looks great, and that's actually I need that list because I'm planning on a trip to Chicago a little bit later this year. So I will definitely reach out to you for that list of all the good stuff, all the good places to go to.
Yeah, I've got 80 videos on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you gotta follow him on X too at Fitzmagic Shy Cheap Seats.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now since we're talking about it.
Yeah, I like Guinness beer, but I prefer the lighter beer. I love Harp. Harp is my favorite. Harp on tap to me is like the nectar of the gods. You know, it's right up there with RC. You know, it's just Harp on tap is.
Once you've had Guinness in Ireland, you'll never have it anywhere else because it just does not taste as good. It's fantastic, man. I spent New Year's Eve in Dublin one year.
Oh my goodness,
Temple Bar. I don't have the picture loaded, but my wife and I drunk as shit at Temple Bar. It's like I like showing my wife the other day. I was like, damn, we look so wasted in this picture. Obvious wasted.
Hard guy, and then I like the Bushmills Irish whiskey is my favorite.
Bushmills is good.
I went to Bushmills Distillery. In Portrush. In Northern Ireland. This is on the other side. Man, I had the Distiller's Reserve, which was like I brought a bottle back too, and it was aged 10 years and 10 or 12 years and 10 years and then 2 years in port wine casks. Man, it was so freaking good, man.
Okay.
I tasted it there, and I'm like, I'm getting a bottle. I told my wife, we did a Northern Ireland tour, Belfast and Portrush and Bushmills, but the Titanic Museum, which is fantastic if you ever get over there.
See where they made a DeLorean?
I didn't see that, but I did a Game of Thrones tour.
Is it
And,
Oh my God.
all the locations
Oh.
around Northern Ireland where they filmed Game of Thrones with a tour guide, my
Oh, that's
wife and I.
pretty cool.
It was really awesome. And then that the tour guide was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing tonight?" He's like, "I DJ at a karaoke bar in Belfast." So my wife and I went. We did every song you sang, you got a free shot, man. It was awesome. Yeah, I love Ireland. But speaking of food, Fitz in the place that you did a video of last year during the season, and they were heavily involved in the Bears season last year. The Wiener Circle.
Winter Circle, yes.
Yeah.
Winter Circle.
Yeah, so if the Chicago Bears trade for Maxx Crosby, what should the Wiener Circle do? Everyone wants to know.
Oh,
Fitzy,
man.
you got to have something clever, right?
Free hot dogs. I mean,
What about
It's a
the
hit.
bad Max
It's a hit,
dog?
right? Why change it?
yeah, why mess with
Why change
perfection?
it?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Um,
thought the menu item maybe I thought would be.
I'm kind of hoping that Portillo's jumps in at some point, offers like free chocolate cake shakes if they get Maxx Crosby. But
Yeah, excellent too,
that
man.
would be excellent. But
I gotta
think,
drive to Davenport to get to Port. That's the closest one to me.
I don't have a
Davenport,
Portillo's in
Quad
Virginia,
Cities.
so there ain't no Portillo's over here, unfortunately.
Portillo's and Wiener Circle have a little bit of a beef going on. I don't know if
Oh,
you
yeah?
ever watched
Pun
this.
intended. Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
They do.
I think speaking about Maxx Crosby, I think Zim mentioned something. I actually looked it up the tweet too. Maxx Crosby saying, and I quote, "I am a Raider, run that shit back." And that could maybe be a sign of things to come. But again, for me, we'll have to wait and see because a lot of things can be said between now and he was supposed to be a Raven a couple of days ago until he's not. So that's to be determined. But yeah, just if they're to trade for Maxx Crosby, I mean, I think we should reach out to Portillo's and ask, can we get free chocolate cake shakes for a month? Or something?
Fitz will
dream
tweet
right
something.
That'd be something. Winter Circle can't be the only one.
I would go for a Polish at Portillo's. Those are
Oh, the char Polish.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep,
Those are
good
good too.
Polish
Good.
sauces there.
Yep. I like the beef and cheddar croissant too. That's indulgent.
Well, that sounds good.
Oh.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's
Indulgent.
really good. It's just like mountains. It's just like a glob of Italian beef goodness.
We got Johnny Beef fans over here. We got Al
Johnny's beef.
I'm
Johnny
both. I'll
Yeah.
take them both.
I'll take either one.
This,
Yeah.
this gal I've been talking with, she loves Johnny's Beef, so I'm like, I want to go to Johnny's Beef. So maybe we can ask Johnny's Beef to join in as well.
You've got to go to Johnny's in the middle of summer, a hot, sweltering night where you wait in line for an hour, and then you get up to the line, and then you end up ordering Italian ice too. It's one of those. It's a rite of summer to just
Italian
wait.
lemonade, Italian ice. The best for me, Italian ice, Freddy's and Cicero. Do you know Freddy's?
Yes, Freddy's.
Oh,
Uh,
they have good sheet pan pizza too.
Yes.
But man, their flavors are so accurate. Man, I used to get like a pint or a half gallon of cantaloupe Italian lemons.
Cantaloupe?
Oh, so good, man. So good.
That's
The
insane.
cantaloupe Italian ice. Oh,
I had to try that.
fantastic. It was so refreshing in the summer. I used to stop on my way home. But all right, and then Aldo gave me this other one here. Ian Rappaport is expected to work alongside Adam Schefter when the NFL Network officially becomes an ESPN.
Oh,
entity
that's not going to last.
I
in
don't
May.
like that.
Wow.
Unless they get into a fight or something.
They're going to get in a fight.
But the ESPN can control the NFL news market. Just with these two guys, they're arguably the two biggest NFL insiders.
I'm going to throw some shade right now. Ian Rappaport is not the best guy on NFL Network. I'm going to just throw that beef out there right now because I think Tom Pelissero is an outstanding individual.
I was going to say, who is?
Yeah.
Tom Pelissero is the man. Like, you want to talk
Very
about someone that gets Bears-related information, Tom Pelissero is that dude. I remember years ago, Ian Rappaport, just side story, where he completely whiffed on the Tevin Jenkins story where he's like, oh, Tevin Jenkins is going to be traded from the Chicago Bears. Tevin Jenkins was never traded by the Chicago Bears that year. It was, 2022?
They just never re-signed him.
They never re-signed him, but he never got traded.
Right.
No matter how Ian insisted that he would be traded. I mean, he's been hit or miss compared to Tom Pelissero. ESPN definitely wants to have the monopoly on the NFL market, and I just see one of those two moving down at some point. I see Adam Schefter doing the exact same thing that old boy who now is on the arena, pulled chocks after he and Stephen A. Smith were on the same show for so many years. Then he pulled chocks and went elsewhere. Skip Bayless. I see him pulling a Skip Bayless and going somewhere else, like maybe Fox or CBS. Go there with Jonathan Jones. I don't see Ian and Adam staying together forever. I don't think those two get along too well either. I want to say there have been some stories where the two have been at odds before, and now you put them in the same desk. I don't see that working out.
No, I don't either.
All right. Well, I did tell the chat room we'd get to some of their questions. Jojo, do you guys believe our roster has been upgraded? He says, I'm sorry, but I don't see it. Man, I got to totally disagree. I really think it. I think Poles did a great job this first few days.
I didn't think they were going to go after a big signing this offseason, so it's kind of played out the way I envisioned it. Not saying I'm like know everything or anything, but I didn't. So I'm okay with how things have gone. We still got the draft to go too. So I think this team's going to be improved by the time it's all said and done after the draft.
Zim, upgraded to I know you like it so far. We've increased the depth.
Yeah, but it's hard to say that it's necessarily upgraded. I don't think it's any worse than it was, and I'll put it at that. The talent has just shifted. The talent has been reallocated to different spots.
It's gotten a little younger too, no?
And I want to be very clear. You cannot factor Drew Dahlman into this conversation because you were losing him one way or the other. We didn't know it, but that's something that, in my opinion, can't be factored into the evaluation of this offseason because that's nobody's fault. That's not a move that could have been prepared for. So...
Yeah, I have a difference of opinion. I do factor in Drew Dahlman into this situation. I'd factor it in because we don't know, like you said, we don't know. Nobody could have prepared for it. But when he retired, that was before free agency started. So now you're sitting there at that point, and I look at it like this: okay, we're without Drew Dahlman because he retired. How are you gonna touch this roster up? And Poles went ahead and he has started attacking and doing some things. I think we got we let Tremaine Edmonds go. We got another linebacker that is outstanding in Devin Bush. I think that's an upgrade in my opinion, especially for this scheme. That's an upgrade.
Who's going to wear the green dot?
That's a good question.
Bush probably.
Maybe.
He's worn it his whole career.
Okay.
But you gotta wonder how quickly he's gonna pick up everything, and is somebody else better suited to do that?
Well, where does TJ Edwards fit in?
Exactly. I think TJ Edwards is still gonna be there. He's gonna be a player. He's gonna be a starter. I think he's a real serviceable player and really good at what he does. He's a tackler too. He gets out there and makes tackles and makes plays.
He was fantastic for us for a few years.
When TJ Edwards was out, he was the Mike. When he was there to play for the Bears, he was the Mike linebacker, and he had the green dot in his helmet. So
they switched him and Edmonds along the way.
Right.
Dennis Allen switched him, right?
Right.
Kind of, sort of. So
I think
it's like when they started the year, TJ Edwards was the Mike, Tremaine Edmonds was the Will, and then injuries really piled up. So then Tremaine Edmonds slid over a little to the Mike, but then DeMarco Jackson played a little bit of the Mike. Then play a little bit of the Will.
I mean, they had everybody playing it because they were decimated at linebacker at one point in time, right?
They were down to their fourth linebackers at one point.
I think we played a game without linebackers one time, didn't we?
Well, almost.
He played Mike and Eberflus's, though, Edmonds. Tremaine played the Mike in Eberflus.
He played the Mike in Matt Eberflus, so then he got slid over to the Will under Dennis Allen, and Tremaine Edmonds played better as the Will.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's how I remember it.
So that's where Devin Bush, I think he's going to be the Will. for what the Bears are looking at a linebacker. And TJ Edwards will probably hold on to the mic. And then DeMarco Jackson will probably be the Sam as he's earned that nod. I mean, when he's on the field, he's been electric. And I think he'll be a solid upgrade at Sam. So you have him, TJ Edwards, Devin Bush, very rangy, very instinctive linebacking group.
That's a good linebacking group, right? I think it's like I said.
What
I
about
think it's
Ruben
an upgrade
Hippolyte?
You know, I'm a fan of his, but he
yet.
didn't play enough
Not ready
last year. He was a healthy scratch. It was
a healthy scratch at the end of the year. Couldn't get on the field, and now he's got DeMarco and Devin Bush in front of him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And to answer the question as well for JoJo, I think the roster is better slightly. I think they replaced more guys than they have. What the phrase I'm looking for is they've replaced more than they have brought in, meaning they've lost guys. So they brought players kind of like one-for-one swaps. But at two positions, they did upgrade at linebacker and at safety. It remains to be seen what happens on the defensive line. Do they get a Maxx Crosby? Do they wait till the draft to invest heavily with draft picks? Or
I think they improved. At the end of the day, let me finish. I think they improved. I think they improved. They improved at defensive tackle with Nevin Gallimore. I think that's an improvement over whatever Grady Jarrett was giving you last year. He wasn't that much, right? I think he's going to be more. He's going to be more solid there. I think there's an upgrade at linebacker. I think there's an upgrade at safety. And the reason I say it's an upgrade at safety, even though Kevin Byard played great last year, he's just 32 years old, man. And I don't see him producing the same level of play that he did this past year. I don't see that happening. But I do believe Kobe Bryant will play similar to what he played last year and even better. So I think that's an upgrade. So you got three positions there that you upgraded at. I think you downgraded, of course, at center because Dahlman, retired. He was a Pro Bowler. Guy coming in is not a Pro Bowler, but
he's not bad.
You just filled the void, right? You filled the void, and he's not terrible.
Penalties.
Right? Not terrible. Not terrible at all. So that's a decent. I'm not gonna say it's. I still think it's a downgrade from what Dahlman brought last year.
Man, Dahlman, that last game he got killed by the Rams defensive line. Man, he's.
It's one game.
Liability. Man. I know one game, but I'm not saying he was an All-Pro.
Yeah, and he's a Pro Bowler.
Yep.
But
ask Aldo. He was not nearly as good as we thought he was, according to Aldo.
I think Khalif Raymond, even though we got rid of DJ Moore, I didn't want to see him go, but we did get, we were fat there anyway, so he was kind of like expendable. But we did get Khalif Raymond, who's better than Alamadis Zacchaeus, right?
Eric
better
and I
than
are on
Jevin
the same
Duvernay.
page, man. If Chris Brazzell II is there, man, at 57, is that what we're picked at 57? Man, I'm also sprinting to the podium. That guy is dangerous. And this is an interesting from Slimbo Boogie. Would you guys give Joey Bosa a 1 year, $8 million contract? Man, Maxx Crosby's not there. Bradley Chubb is gone. Trey Hendrickson is gone. There ain't much else. What's that one guy from the Seahawks or the Chargers that got a bag, right?
What was it? Ode.
And what about Joey Bosa? No, 1 year, just on a flyer.
Didn't do much in Buffalo, and I'm just
maybe wasn't healthy. I don't know.
Wouldn't do much.
Did we get what we're hoping from Jedrick Wills, comparatively from Joey Bosa?
No, Jedrick Wills is left tackle though.
No, I mean like we're expecting Jedrick Wills. We took a flyer on Jedrick Wills to be
a little younger, isn't he?
To give us
he's 26. You're talking about a guy who's 26, and what is Joey Bosa like? 30,
33, 34.
Yeah,
he's 30.
Well, I'm just saying if you're low risk, high reward production, high production at any position,
Yeah.
He'll be 31 when the season starts.
He'll be 31? Okay, I thought he was a little older than that. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I just think Bosa's washed up a little bit.
Yeah, he's washed.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's necessarily washed, but I also don't know that he's necessarily better than what you've already got on your roster.
Yeah. Gotcha.
it's a depth or competition.
You've got to remember, guys, they've got a motivated Dio Dangbo over there. All right, that's a big deal.
He is motivated. Jay Grizz asks Fitz, you ever eat at DiMenzo's on Taylor Street?
I have not. I'm ashamed to say I have not. I've heard of DiMenzo's great things. Maybe this summer. I got to get over to Taylor Street and just camp out for like a week and just eat over on Taylor Street.
Gain 30 pounds in a week?
Yeah. No, I got to get my walk in.
Okay, yeah. So you be walking down the street.
That's right. DiMenzo's is a good call out. Good call out.
D. Stern says it's pepper and egg sandwich season now.
Yes,
you guys,
it is.
Do anybody not ever have a pepper and egg sandwich?
Have you guys not had?
Have you had one or not?
I've had it before.
I've had it. Okay.
I've had it.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Zim, of course.
Good simple sandwich.
Yep.
Mom used to make them. Yeah.
My family used to make them too. Of course, growing up Italian American. Friday was pepper and egg, man. Nice soft Italian roll, some greasy scrambled eggs and sweet peppers. So good.
Yeah. I got me a shamrock shake the other day too.
Did you? Oh, I've been meaning to go. Maybe this weekend.
My wife got one last night, and man, those things tasted a lot better when I was like 12.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
I swear they taste different than when I was a kid.
I want to try the Oreo McFlurry.
70s and 80s, I was drinking them. All right, fellas. Well,
I'll try my own homemade ones. You make them with vanilla vodka and creme de menthe.
Okay.
Sounds good. A little vanilla ice cream.
Like, actually, though, if you really want to try it, like, it is great.
Really?
All right. Let's go around the horn here.
It works, man.
What you think? What would shock you if the Bears pick in the draft, Eric?
I mean,
what position?
A kicker, a punter.
Because
Raiders have drafted kickers in the first and punters in the first round. But
for the Bears,
I mean, what would shock me? Because I mean, Jim kind of said it. Just all these positions outside of quarterback, maybe running back might be, unless he's a player with world-class speed. Maybe running back will be a little bit of a shock. But when you're sitting at 25 overall instead of 10th overall, your net has to be that much wider. So I'm not going to be terribly shocked if it's a position that's not a quarterback, a punter, or a kicker. That'll be my answer.
Austin Reed still on the roster?
Austin Reed? You mean University of West Florida legend? Austin
Western
Reed?
Kentucky.
Well, actually, so he played. So I was in the
where he played in Western Florida. He grew up. Okay.
Yep. I was there when he was at UWF and went to the national championship. Then he went to Western Kentucky. Then he went pro. And he's pretty good friends with Caleb.
Yes, it doesn't show him on the roster. Maybe
he has signed a contract with the Dallas Renegades of the UFL.
Yeah.
So we'll see him this spring.
I would. My prediction is that there will be an undrafted free agent quarterback or two in camp.
Probably
from somewhere.
Probably a camp arm or two.
Maybe not.
Shepherd College.
maybe they don't. Just to give these guys as many reps as possible.
I
don't know what I'd be. I don't know what I'd be surprised with. I think I'd be surprised if they went
draft predictions
in the draft. I think that I'd be surprised if they drafted a wide receiver like early on.
Oh yeah,
I think I would be surprised by that. That would be the only thing that I'd be surprised by.
Yeah, day 3 though.
Yeah, day 3, absolutely.
Yep. Zim, predictions. Hot takes.
Like, really surprising. Like, I mean, yeah, punter, kicker. I don't think they would. I don't know. No, they just extended Santos, so they don't really need to address that.
He's already drafted a punter.
And the punter still has 2 years left on his deal.
I would never draft a punter. That's just for the record. To me, it's a wasted draft.
Pick him up on the street.
Undrafted, undrafted or somebody,
Our Brun.
Man,
I just wanted to be on the record.
position I'd really be surprised if they drafted.
Like you expect him to draft safety and defensive line and pass rusher and maybe center.
Like I would expect like a developmental interior offensive lineman, potentially a developmental tackle. You know, I can see them going just about anywhere. You know what would surprise me if they drafted somebody who was like a pure fullback.
Well, I could see
like
him drafting a tackle.
Yeah, that would be
like
surprising.
Allstott.
right. I don't even know if there's any of those in college football anymore, but you know, but that's about like that. That's where I'm at with this team. They do have a very deep cornerback room. I might be surprised if they drafted a cornerback just because of how many they currently have on the roster. You know, and they realistically
Two
have
of them are coming off injuries.
5 starters. You know, because they've got Johnson, they've got Smith, they've got Frazier, they've got Stevenson, they've got
What if Johnson's not the same player he was after tearing his groin muscle off of his bone?
No, he was the same player after
Doesn't sound good.
He got healthy again.
He was definitely not the same Jalen Johnson last year.
No, it took him a couple
understand his
on the
injury.
plays that he was, but he just needed to work up to
I
it.
would not be surprised if they draft a cornerback and get one in the pipeline. I don't think they're super happy with Tyreek Stevenson. After that, there's not much else. You know, Jalen Johnson is.
Well, they've still got Terrell Smith. They've still got Zay Frazier. They just signed that
they
kid.
do have Zay Frazier. We don't know what he is.
Oh, can I do a victory lap? By the way,
Yeah.
Just because everybody, not saying you guys, but
We
there
thought
were a
Deshaun
ton of
Wright
people
would get a
talking about
bag.
Deshaun Wright was
Yeah.
going to get. Oh, he's going to get so much.
$17 million a
Dude,
year.
Come on,
Yeah.
like, y'all chill out, man.
What did he get? $5 million or 5.5?
5.5
$5.5 million.
from the Jets. So you know they paid him a little more than everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's been exiled to the Jets. Man.
I mean,
This is
honestly
terrible.
though,
How do you go from being on the Bears and Caleb and Ben?
I love what he
Johnson,
did.
better
I love what he
best, and then
did. He
you
had
go
a
to the
great
Jets.
season.
Yeah.
look,
How-
here's my thing. If I'm a player of that caliber where I know like that legitimately might have been it, I'm going to the biggest market I can for the most money I can and hoping I can replicate it. And if I don't, then I'm going to have a hell of a season in one of the best cities on the planet, you know? And like, how can you fault him for that? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
you can't.
that is his payday. His payday is he now gets to live in New York for a year, which, yeah, I mean, it's not Chicago, but if you had to go from one to the other, I'd prefer to go Chicago to New York than New York to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that he got paid. He got a contract. It's great to see. But I knew he wasn't going to get, like, people were talking about they were talking absurd, like 3-4 year deal.
Yeah.
Like, no way, dude. Come
No,
on.
$5.5 million. I mean, $5.5 million in New York City. That's almost enough to live for the year. So we'll see how that goes.
1-bedroom apartment. You know.
Yeah, 1-bedroom apartment in Queens.
Studio.
Yeah,
You got to share a bathroom.
Everything's
down the hall.
everything's all together.
It's a YMCA room.
yeah, shared bathroom. That's right. Yeah.
Josh Sweat has asked the Cardinals for a trade, signed a 4-year, $76 million salary. He's got a cap hit of $16 million. Any thoughts of going after Josh Sweat?
Well, didn't Tavondre Sweat already get traded? So
Yeah, Javonte Sweat got traded.
there goes my dream defensive line. I wanted Sweat. You know,
Triple Sweat.
Right.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but a name I mentioned earlier, which I know the Eagles are already in on, Jonathan Gennard would be someone that I would gladly pivot to if the Maxx Crosby dream is dead. And
What about Ashawn Robinson?
he already signed with
Did he? Okay.
Carolina Panthers.
Well, he was released, right, by the Commanders.
He was released. No, he was released by the. I'm sorry, he released by the Panthers, and he signed with. Did he sign with the Commanders?
Did you say
I don't
Ashawn
know.
Robinson?
Yeah, wasn't he
The
just
guy from
released?
Auburn? Like, I have not heard his name in years. I didn't know he was
played in
still playing.
Alabama. Do you play in
Alabama?
Yeah, so I got it
I'm
right
probably
here.
mixing it
I
up.
could be wrong. I don't remember.
Maybe he had a big play versus Auburn in that championship game they played or something. That's why I'm getting them mixed up.
Okay,
Regardless,
that's where I got mixed up. So Ashawn Robinson re-signed with the Panthers for a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Was he on the Commanders at one point?
No,
No, huh? Okay.
he was on
I
the
genuinely did not know he was still in the league.
Was Jonathan Allen released recently or no?
Jonathan Allen was released today.
Okay, so that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Didn't
Is
he
that-
sign it?
They
They were
Allen
both
again?
on the same defensive line at Alabama, I think.
Yep, Jonathan Allen was Alabama. Then his cohort just signed with the Packers. Javon Hargrave signed with Green Bay.
Well, he was released by the Vikings.
Yep, they're both released by the Vikings today, and then Javon Hargrave signed with the Packers like an hour
Signed
later.
with the Packers. All right.
I'm not too worried about that one.
What happened to
Isn't
Josh
Javon
Allen?
Hargrave up there in age? Or am I mixing him up with somebody else?
No, he's a bit long in the tooth. He wasn't overly productive last year neither. So
Nobody on the Vikings was.
Yeah, exactly.
Jonathan Grenard was pretty productive, but
I like the chances of the Bears next season to win the division if their depth can hold up. You know, they've got a draft. Well, that draft last year was a real success. So, any last thoughts on Josh Sweat? I think. Okay, Tampa just signed Ashawn Robinson.
Okay.
let me see.
Can't keep up with any of this stuff, man.
Yeah, it's hot and heavy. It's going crazy.
I know it is crazy.
Oh, it was the Bucks. I took my glasses off, so I need new glasses. Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of feel like at this point in free agency, if you're still signing anybody, it's like, you know, when the Bears signed Jared Allen, you know?
Oh God.
It's kind of
The story behind that one, that was Ian Rappaport talking about how Ryan Pace, Phil Emery, excuse me. Phil Emery was a ninja apparently and ran into Jared Allen's agent and had this super secret squirrel meeting with them just moments after signing Lamar Houston. And this whole weird story about Phil Emery trying to pull a ninja and getting Jared Allen, which turned out to be a flaming turd of a signing.
Right.
Hey, he had an interception with the Bears.
I remember that.
The other moves around the NFL, and it was a whirlwind. But Tremaine we mentioned Tremaine went to the Giants, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds
Years,
with the Giants.
okay. Mike Evans to the 49ers, 3 years, $60 million for the old man. Still a good player. Yep. John Franklin Myers, rumored the Bears were sniffing around to the Titans, 3 years, $63 million. Wandale Robinson, a guy I liked if something had happened to if we just so happen to trade DJ Moore, I thought Wandale, right? He gets 4 years, $70 million, so maybe a little pricey there, but Travis Etienne goes to the Saints, 4 years, $52 million. Draymond Jones to the Patriots, 3 years, $39 million. Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, man. If you're in fantasy football next year, you got to be looking at that. Him and Patrick.
That was a straightforward signing. I think that was the most obvious place for him. Was you get Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. Now you give him Kenneth Walker.
Gets a nice bag, about $12 million per year, or more than that, $14 million per year.
Isaiah Pacheco went to Detroit.
No more rotation.
Right, Pacheco went to Detroit.
Pacheco went to the Vikings, and then
was it Vikings or Lions? I think it went to the Lions.
Went to the Lions.
Went to the Lions. They need a new tag team combo. My suggestion was butt and ass, and nobody cares for that. So,
Jalen Phillips, 4 years, $120 million to rush the passer if he goes to the Panthers.
Never got double digits in sacks or
and
pressures.
Alec Pierce with the Colts, 4 years, $116 million. What?
And apparently that was a discount.
Hey, no,
$29 million a year.
But if you look at he got a lot of money, but they're gonna make him the number one guy, and Daniel Jones loves him.
Okay.
And they just paid Daniel Jones
$100 million.
If you look at his numbers down the stretch of last year, they were throwing. He was throwing him the ball a lot. Quite often.
Guys, my dream of Caleb Williams taking a hometown discount went completely out the window with Daniel Jones today. Yeah. Oh my God! If you're giving Daniel Jones $50 million a year, Like, how can you justify not giving Caleb Williams that kind of money?
Man, Vizzo's got a good question here, man. If Poles doesn't hit on a pass rusher for the 4th offseason in a row, is he on the hot seat? I don't think so. Man. He's done such a good job since,
I mean, he did hit on one. He hit on Montez Sweat.
Yeah, he hit on Montez. Yeah. Was that an offseason?
Montez had a good year last year, man.
Was that? Oh, he had a great year last year.
He had a great.
I'm not saying that he didn't. It's just that Sweat has not been the guy that he was expected to be in Chicago.
Yeah, it was 10 sacks a year.
But whose expectations are those, Em?
Oh, I know. It's the fans' expectations.
That's the thing. So Sweat has never been.
He's earned his money. He's earned his money. He's earned his money. In fact, let me just go here because I do have it. Yeah. 17 games, 10 sacks, 13 TFLs, 5 pass defenses, man.
He really came on after the bye when the Bears shifted around a little bit on the defensive line. Then Austin Booker played adjacent from Montez Sweat. All of a sudden, it really took off. So I think with Montez, he's not a Julius Peppers kind of guy where he can wreck the line by himself. He's not a Khalil Mack kind of guy. But then when Khalil Mack was Chicago, Khalil Mack also had Akeem Hicks. Had a respectable player, Leonard Floyd.
That was Ryan Pace that brought Mack here.
Yeah, return of the Mack.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, the Bears, when they got Khalil Mack, they had footballers at every level of the defense in the secondary, linebackers, and defensive line.
Go back and revisit that Mack trade. The Bears gave up a 2019 first, which the Raiders used to draft Josh Jacobs, no longer with them. 2020 first, they drafted cornerback Damon Arnett.
Absolutely awful.
I don't think he's even in the league anymore.
Nope.
Brian Edwards, the 3rd round, and then they traded the 6th round. We gave to the Jets. So really all they got was Josh Jacobs for Khalil Mack.
He left.
Sent back to us to Cole Kmet, and who could forget Arlington Hambright, Danikin?
The great Arlington Hambright.
The big ham.
Poles late round gem. Guys.
Honestly, the Bears won that trade. I mean, they didn't win the playoffs, but they went to two. They went to 2 playoff games.
Yep.
And then, Cole Kmet's still a Bear, and he's actually might be getting an extension too.
Yeah.
I remember there's been rumblings talking about opening up cap space. We haven't even talked about Cole Kmet
trading,
maybe getting an extension.
Yeah.
So
if they do, it'd be the time to do it because he's still young enough to absorb that extension and be productive.
Yep.
At the end of it,
maybe get another contract after that.
To complement Colston Loveland. He's the perfect player. He's a top 5 blocking tight end in the league. He's also a dangerous threat in the red zone. And he's not the type of player that Colston Loveland is as a receiver, but that's perfectly fine because you don't want to have 2 identical players at the same position. You want players to really complement. That's the whole point about having that 12 personnel grouping. And that's why Ben Johnson absolutely ran into perfection last year. When you have Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland on the same field, that really my favorite formation is when they had 31 personnel. Not 31 personnel, it was 30 personnel where both the tight ends were in the backfield, and you have a single back high, and then you have 2 receivers. And that was the coolest concept, and it worked to perfection because both tight ends can catch the ball, both tight ends can block. And so having that full house in the backfield with 2 tight ends was such a nasty, nasty look. And I
hate to bring this up, but the Patriots did it really well with Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. The murderer. 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 But I mean they did it really well, and there's been a lot of teams that have been trying to duplicate that. The Bears have an opportunity to kind of. I'm not saying Cole Kmet is Gronk because he's not, but I'm just saying stylistic wise, right? Mm-hmm. Play like how they play. He's a bigger tight end. I don't want to say more cumbersome, but the other guy is more agile. He's more slick with it. He's like the Travis Kelce in Colston Loveland. So you have complementary guys, but they complement each other because when they're both on the field, you got mismatches because somebody's got to guard somebody, right? So you got a safety against
They both can block too.
Cole Kmet, he's too big. Or you got a nickelback against Kmet, he's too big. You got a linebacker against Colston, and he's too slow. So it just creates matchup nightmares for the defense.
The is Durham Smythe still on the roster?
No,
he signed elsewhere.
He just got signed.
Okay,
today.
he signed elsewhere. Okay, I didn't have.
He signed with the Ravens.
Signed with the Ravens.
So that's why they couldn't get Crosby. Okay,
I could see them taking. I could see them taking a late day 3 or undrafted free agent tight end to have here for that Durham Smythe spot. Someone that can block and give you some receptions. There are some good tight ends in this draft. It's a deep tight end draft class.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
You know what? That would be the one surprise is if the Bears pick a tight end in the first round. That would be
that would
be a huge
They're
surprise.
not doing that, but they will definitely. I think there's definitely a good chance on the third day they take a tight end. There's some late round gems out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's about all I have, guys. Gonna go around the horn and tell us what you got going on, and then I'll close out the show. Eric, why don't you lead us off? Thanks for joining us. I hope you had fun.
Well, it was a great time, guys. Thanks for having me back. It's been over a year. I was again gone for reasons. Just doing my thing around the world, and then coming back to this was just a nice change of pace. So I'm glad to be back with you guys. Look forward to talking with y'all more in the future. I'll come holler at you guys, especially Fitz. I got to come at you for that list of the restaurants.
Please.
Yeah,
I got to come to you for that one, man. And by all means, Zim. Sorry, my glasses are off. Zim, great meeting you, man. Same thing with you, Danikin. Tooch, great talking to you again. Just looking forward to continuing this ride.
That's what's up. Is it my turn?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Eric, man, for coming. We appreciate having you. You know what I mean? It was nice chopping it up with you today about football, about everything that's going on in Bears land, you might say. Shout out to the guys on here. Zim, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you back. It's good. I like the hat too, by the way. I need to get me one.
Thanks, man.
Of course, Fitz with a nice video today, food video. And Tooch, man, good job. You're doing an excellent job, man. You're running the show and doing some things with pictures and everything. Like we're missing the girls. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let you slide with that. You know what I mean? If Aldo was here, we'd have that under control.
Coaching matters, though, Eric.
That's a little bit better.
Coaching matters.
Yeah, coaching matters. You need to be coached up on.
Did you know? Did you know she had a sign?
Shout out to Bears Land, though. Bears Twitter, all the fans, man. You guys stay locked in. We're gonna be here for the duration of the off season and getting ready for the draft.
All right, Zim.
Guys, it's fun to be back.
Are you on spring break?
For now, technically, I'm in between quarters, so yeah, I guess that's kind of spring break. I don't know if we do another one or not. I'm just kind of go with the flow with school, but man, it got heavy there for a minute, so I just needed to take some time, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to do that.
Yeah.
Waiting for my final to be posted, but I might have 4-0'd this quarter, so that would be awesome.
I'm proud of you.
So we'll see how that all goes, and anyway, guys, so much has changed. Got a new car. I'm starting a new job. I'm like,
nice.
I'm finishing up a quarter at school. I still got lots more to go, but we'll see what the future holds for me. I'm starting baseball season with both of my boys here soon, so I don't know exactly what that holds for the future of the show, but
totally get it.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it, you know. And aside from that, big shout out to you, Eric, for coming to join us. I'm sure we'll have you back. I would imagine so. I'm not really in charge of that, but I'd guess we'll probably have you back at some point before, around, after the draft.
Draft talk, yep.
Yep. Everybody in the chat room, it's so great to see you guys out there. It was so active tonight, and I love seeing that. I know it looks like I'm just screwing around on the screen over here, but I'm reading chat the whole time, actually. Eric, you mentioned you didn't have your glasses. I got 3 giant monitors in front of me, so I don't have to worry about that.
I've got 3 monitors too, but it's like, I'm like, I don't like wearing my glasses at all.
You zoom in on them. That way you don't got to worry about it. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at it all on the tiny little screen in front of you. Trust me, I've been there before. So, but yeah, everybody, it's been awesome. I'm glad to be back. I don't know. I'm ready for next season already, man. I really am.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah, the impatient bear can't wait either.
I feel like we've been through a whole off season already. I was so excited for Monday to come, and it was so lackluster.
Real quick, I want to, Zim, you made me, you reminded me. My son, his basketball season just wrapped up, right? We won our district. We went to the state tournament last weekend. Wow. We had the state tournament, and we won 2 games. We were in the semifinals. We lost the game to go to the finals by 3 points. So, right. Yeah, we had a good season. We were 17-0 during the regular season. Damn. And then in district play, we won. That was the only game we lost. And the team that went to the finals was a team that we beat on Friday. So my team was a little upset about that. Because the tournament was like double elimination. But when we got to Saturday, they cut it and they wanted to make it single elimination for us because they didn't want the thing to drag on until 9 o'clock at night. So the kids were a little bit upset. I was too. I ain't gonna lie. I was the coach, so. But it was fun. I had a good time doing it.
You running the triangle?
Congratulations.
Man, I was. Yeah, we had a nasty defense. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had a 1-3-1 zone that I was running, and nobody knew. All the other kids, they had no idea what that was. They seen a 2-3, they seen a 3-2, but nobody seen a 1-3-1, and they were confused.
Nice, love it.
Very good. All right, Fitz.
Yeah. So before I get to the shout outs, I will be next Wednesday at the 2026 White Sox food and beverage event.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
So I should have some content for us for Wednesday night. It's in the morning.
Right.
So I will for the next show. So
some of the best stadium food in sports, and at that tasting, dude, they don't hold back.
No, they don't. No. So I was at one 2 years ago, and I got another invite this year. So I am looking forward to that.
It's like the highlight of the White Sox season. Huh?
Yeah, it is. What's the new milkshake? You know, come on.
Oh, God,
I mean, for a few years there, it really was.
Well, 3 straight 100-loss years. I mean, you can't.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the World Baseball Classic, but the White Sox got a few young, real exciting players competing in that right now.
And one of them got hurt last night. So
hey, it was not that bad, probably.
Yeah. I want to say, wasn't there a deal announced that Jerry Reinsdorf is going to eventually no longer be a White Sox, owning the White Sox? I think that's the best news ever. Is just Jerry Reinsdorf is finally no longer going to be affiliated with that.
And the guy that.
Can we get him away from the Bulls too?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question.
No, and his son will probably take that one over. So sorry. I don't remember the guy who is gonna be the new White Sox primary owner.
Ishbia, is that it? It's from Phoenix. He was
Ishbia. Yeah, he's the guy who owns the Suns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he also owns the Phoenix Suns. And he's done a great job developing marketing and talent acquisition down there. I don't know if you saw recently, the Suns actually just put something out. They've got super cheap concessions at a few games every year, so that you can go to games. I know that in the NFL world, down by you, Danikin, at Mercedes-Benz, they do that as well. Yeah. It's a big draw to get people to games. So I think the White Sox might do that too.
You go there and you can get, me and my son, we'll go to the game. And it's for all the games. They do it for, because we went to Notre Dame versus Georgia Tech last year or whatever it was. And, I mean, you can get whatever you want for $20 got me a hamburger, him a hamburger, popcorn, candy, drinks, everything for $20.
Yeah, the Suns are now offering a $2 value menu.
Jeez.
Hot dogs, soda,
$2?
water, popcorn, bags of
What?
chips, tacos, and ice cream sandwiches.
Yep.
Family
And they
of four
probably
can
have
eat-
free refills too. Like at Mercedes-Benz, they got free
Yep.
refills on all the drinks.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
feel
the
we can't
smartest
get
thing,
it.
man.
We can't even get a decent good morning without paying $2 on most parts of the country. $2
Right.
for a decent meal? Shit.
Yep.
So yeah, just
Anyway.
shout out to you guys. Eric, great to meet you.
You too, man.
Zim, glad you're back for the moment. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Hopefully it lasts. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, kids take priority.
Yes, definitely. And Tooch,
Understandable.
Danikin, always great to see you guys every week. And
Same.
um,
Same here. Yep.
folks out there in comment land, love having you. But yeah, can't wait till next week.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going on with the Bears throughout this free agency and through the draft. Want to thank all you guys and my guest Eric, and look, all the Barflies for spending a long time on Wednesday night with us. Aldo for making it all happen. Check out all of the program we have. We'll have some draft programming during the week for sure, and hopefully Eric, you can come back and visit with us for some draft talk.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I'll be there.
All right, fellas, I'm going to sign off. I've been holding it, I got to get to my bladder.
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
what it used to be.
All right.
All right, fellas, signing off. I'll see you next week.
Take it easy.
All right, take it easy.